If you can learn to endure pain, you can survive anything. Some people learn to embrace it, to love it. Some endure it through drowning it in sorrow, or by making themselves forget. Others turn it into anger. Hello! Welcome to Twin Flames Between Worlds podcast. My name is Tabitha.
And I'm Liesl.
And we are finally back with our deep dive episodes of The Assassin's Blade in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas.
Finally excited. Well, not finally excited. Excited to finally be back.
There is the one that gets so many titles. We're in The Assassin's Blade of the da-da-da.
Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas.
We're so excited to come back to these with you guys. So before we get started, explicit warning, even though this is a PG series, we are the way we are. We're going to cuss. We're going to bring up sex, even though it doesn't happen. And
it's a PG series, but we are not PG.
Yes, it's a PG series, but then we can read between some lines. Technically, there is kind of an off-screen sex scene here. But it's more implied than anyway.
Stupid off screen.
Damn it, why did we get to see? But yes, we are back. We are going to be entering the Red Desert. But before we do that, we have a new sponsor these next few episodes. So AKILA, its sunglasses and eyewear, is our sponsor for the next few episodes. So discover AKILA, unisex handmade sunglasses based from the LA area. Independent style meets unbeatable prices. Elevate your look with our modern eyewear concept. So yay!
Yay!
If you stay all the way to the end, you can hear some fun facts about the sponsor. It is a 10% off discount for everyone. Yes, we have the link in the description. With the discount code, it is TFBW Podcast. It's Twin Flames Between Worlds Podcast shortened in the description below. All right, with further ado, welcome back to the Assassin's Blade Throne of Glass. We are going into the Red Desert. The Assassin and the Desert book.
Woo, 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 woo.
In the book, we're calling it the Level 0. Anyway.
Level 0.
Previously on The Assassin's Blade. We just came from Inish, the really small, shitty town. Port City.
More like shittish.
Yeah. Yeah, and we met a wonderful woman named Irene Towers, who is a healer. Obviously, all of these books are not, they're intertwined in the sense of this is Selena after leaving Inish and where she, obviously eventually goes. But yes, that's where we were last time. And our lovely Selena saved Irene Towers from Inish, gave her some gold, taught her how to fight, taught her how to protect herself more it's likely. Diving into chapter 1, we time skip all the way to the Red Desert. Now, if you watched our map episode, you would know where the Red Desert is. It's pretty kind of catty corner to Inish a little bit. Obviously, when getting there.
Yeah, it's the little thing and then the Red Desert is up.
So there's the Gulf of Oro is in between Melisande, Ilway, and because it's got that big gulf in there. So it's either you have to go through the jungle or you get a boat to sail you over to another port city. And then you gotta walk through the desert to get here. So, Obviously, fuck the jungle.
We ain't fucking with the jungle.
So, we're she's already in the desert now. And just a couple of things I noticed on my reread when she was talking about when you don't sweat, that's the bad part.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole point of sweating is, I love how SJM has to throw in some cursory, not even just life lessons, but just common sense bullshit.
If you're not sweating, you're not hydrated.
Yeah, that's bad. If you're not sweating, that's a bad thing. So to get to this place, she needed a guide, and so she has somebody with her, and she's going to the Sezi Pass. She didn't say that in the last I was gonna say episode, but the last book, she said she was going to the Silent Assassins, but like we didn't know what she meant. But
Right.
I'm gonna say the Sezi Sukast is like so much. That's bad.
I wasn't even gonna try and pronounce that. Like, I said it in my head, like, when I was reading it, but I had forgotten, and I saw it in your notes again. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna let you say that. The place.
Also, I listen to the audiobook and she doesn't, so like I at least have it in my memory.
I come to her for all the pronunciations.
Yeah, which is good. I don't mind showing her or letting her know the pronunciations.
She can give me all of her knowledge, just as I have random knowledge.
I do like it how in between there's like recap of like the previous. She kind of does that in between like real books as well, but this is very much like the. Hey, reminder everybody, we're not here on like a pleasure trip. Arabian sent her here because she stood up for slaves and freed them, and he was upset about that. And now we're here.
How dare she stand up for people?
Slaves, by the way. So yeah, they're reminder of that thing. We're not here on a pleasure tour, and we're on basically the other side of the world, which she's like upset about, which I would be too, goddamn.
I mean, she's a city girl, just like you. It's like when I took you out into the desert.
Girl, there are so many moments in here where I go, God damn it.
Fucking sand dunes.
Okay, when that comes up, we'll have to say it. But, like, there were so many moments where I was like, me and, like, Ansel and Selena are like me and Liesl, except she doesn't try to kill me at the end of the trip. You know what I'm saying?
I think you were pretty sure I was trying to on that one hike.
I think you were, but I was more just like, I told her if she got me into the woods, I could, like, cuss, but I'd still have a good time.
Yeah.
I might bitch about it a little bit, but I'm still, like, enjoying it. So, as she talks about getting there, they have this thing, which I didn't notice on my, like, I noticed it while I was reading it this time. They had something called the Singing Sands, which, when I thought about that's why she needed a guide, because I was like, oh, she's just going through the desert, why does she need a guide, I guess? But apparently, it's like a whole humming thing, and if it stops humming, it turns into quicksand. And I forgot that when I listened to this again, and I was like,
that reminds me of, what was that one movie? It was an animated movie that was basically like a princess whose parents were turned into monsters. And there was a clip from the movie where they had to cross like a deserty type plain that had a whole bunch of rocks in it. And when the sunlight hit the sand, it was hard. It was like a hard place to walk. But then anytime like a cloud passed overhead and shadow crossed it, it turned immediately to quicksand.
Oh, no. No. Well, I think
that's what it reminded me of.
I think more why I was like even mentioning this as a detail was because this is a punishment trip, but she could have died at any point along this journey. Like, we also have to remember this isn't modern day. This is fantasy. So, like, she could have died on trip. She could have got sick. She could have got the plague or whatever they constitute as the plague, right? So, at so many moments, she could have died before getting here. So, I'm like, yeah, this is the worst. So, besides that horrendous shithole that she could have fell into, the guy just kind of leaves her at some point and says, she's like, you paid me to take me there. Why are you? He's like, 2 miles that way. Just go. And then just yeets out and disappears. It reminded me of every TV show where, like, someone goes, well, how am I gonna get... And then looks back and there's no one there.
They're, like, looking at it, it's like, wait, you pointed that way? But, like, what about, like, when...
Well, and it's like, dude, these are, like, sand dunes, right? So it's like, where the fuck did he go that I can't see him anymore? It's like, were you here with me this whole... Am I just, like, on cactus juice at this point? Like, I don't really know what's happening. But what that is meaning is that they're fearing the desert. They're scared of the Silent Assassins. Which, I just had, like, a funny question. This is something for the audience as well, but have you ever been to a real desert before like this? Because I haven't. Like, we went to the dunes, but, like, a desert, like, that goes on for, like, miles like that, I don't think that would be a no.
I haven't been to, like, a desert in that sort of sense, in terms of, like, it's the same sand dunes on and on and on. Technically, and people would probably correct me otherwise, so let me know your thoughts if this counts. But, like, technically, I would count the places in Utah as a desert, because while it's not sand dunes, it is, like, just the same dry bush copy and pasted for like miles and miles at a time.
I guess I would just prefer woods than desert.
Yes.
No, like 100%. Like, because it's like the water, the dehydration, the scorpions. Fuck no. When she mentioned that, like, she didn't want a scorpion to, like, like get in her hair or something. I was like,
I have found a scorpion in my shoe before in Utah.
No, fuck no. That was like when she told me on our trip, that's just, we're going to do that a lot this episode, just because there's so much that mirrors that.
We have some reference.
She was like, yeah, we'll put the shoes, like, keep the shoes inside, because if not, like, a snake's going to get in there. And I was like, what? And I was like,
I was telling her the scorpion in the shoe story of like, you know, in the morning, you always got to dump your shoes over first and make sure there's nothing in there before you put them on.
I know. I got so freaked out. I was like,
she's like, what the fuck?
I don't want. She finally gets there, walks in the halls. No one offered her water when she got there, so it's not very a welcoming place.
It's like, we are this, we don't need water here.
It's like hidden between two, so it's hidden in an oasis, which is kind of cool, because like I'm picturing it in my head of just like just desert, then all of a sudden like super nice place, you know, it's got some palm trees and shit. I will say this is going to be a theme throughout, because obviously we know what happens at the end of this, I guess, arc, chapter, you would say. At the top of this, Selena is really throwing her, like, self-assuredness, cocky selfishness, like, out there really quickly. She's like, I'm Selena Sardate, what they gonna do? Or, like, I shouldn't even be here, kind of thing.
Bitch gets humbled.
For real. And I think that's, like, kind of the point. Arabian was trying to see this as, like, a punishment for her, when it actually was probably one of the best things that could have happened to her.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, learning and shit.
And also getting her away from Arabian, but we'll get to that.
It's loud in the keep, but not with noises. And so when I heard silent assassins, I was like, wait, okay, so are they all silent? This is going to be a short episode if they're like all silent, and we're going to have to like.
She's the only one talking. She's monologuing the whole time.
I was like, it can't be. But then as she walks into the chamber where the master is, he's called the Mute Master. They're how do I say? They're like not underestimating her, and this is the first that we've seen so far that no one is really underestimating her for the fact that she's a woman well, she's technically a girl, but a girl and or just a pretty girl. I think there's like two levels to that. And
you can call it like a girl and pretty, and then she happens to be both,
because pretty privilege does exist. We can't like not acknowledge that,
and not just for women.
No, not just for women either. So you see a pretty girl, it's like, oh, she really can fight. To some people, like the prejudice there. Like it's a Brienne of Tarth kind of thing. You know, she is a beautiful woman, that actress. But like, because she's not like conventionally attractive, she like very much has like masculine looks. It's like, oh, but she's an ugly woman, so that kind of makes sense. And it's like,
so of course she can fight. It's like, well, what does that say about us?
God damn it.
It's like, if any girl can fight, does that make them ugly?
Right. I was like, oh, me. I exist. Hello. So, I also was with her where I thought the Mute Master would be like an ancient fuck, but then he turns out to be like in his 50s. And I was like, oh.
I'm just kind of picturing like what people like always describe Jesus to be. You know, like coming out like in sandals and like not like gray haired or anything. Like obviously not like coming out like, you know, praying wise, but just like, yo, what up, man? If you could talk. It's kind of the vibe he gave me, but with some added wisdom.
The 60s Jesus hippie? Is that what you're trying to like say?
Maybe, but like with some added wisdom, and also can kick your ass.
Just like, he reminds me of like what Jesus looked like, and I was like, well, technically you're right, because these guys all like are described as Arab.
Yeah. Yeah, you know?
And Jesus was Arab, or he was Middle Eastern, let's say.
Yeah.
So he took a vow of silence. So he doesn't talk, but some of the other people do. So it's like, I feel like, so people choose to, and then people don't.
Right, and I did appreciate, like, the setup, like, the area of, like, how people choose to be quiet, people, like, choose to just, like, whisper, or there's, like, specific places that you have to be quiet, that kind of thing. I love there's an element of freedom here within this kind of, like, we vow to be silent sort of religious vibe.
So we kind of get more, we didn't get this as much in book 2, but we get more about like why Arabian sent her here. So also part of the punishment is that she cannot go under an alias. This is why she hasn't been seen on her journey with a mask. Like that's what we questioned last episode, was like why is she just all of a sudden going around without a mask on? He basically said, because you weren't protecting my investment and you didn't show me respect, that I'm not going to show you the same courtesy by like letting you be hidden anymore.
That wasn't respect, but whatever.
Again, it was slaves, you fuck. Like,
how dare you disrespect me by freeing the slaves?
Immediately gets thrown out of the question. So no fake names. She has to do this. People with knowing that she is Selena Zardavian, which like works in her favor, but then also doesn't. So the thing is, she needs a letter from the Mute Master about herself within a month's time, or she cannot return to Rifthold. She's not allowed.
Mm-hmm.
And something she did mention when she was talking to the Mute Master, she said, "Oh, the king in the north." I was like, first of all, Game of Thrones. Second of all, I always thought that was weird that Arabian called himself the king of assassins when, like, this guy is, like, they're not under the same authority. And so technically he would be, the Mute Master is kind of like the king of his domain.
Of the desert assassins.
So that never made, like, sense to me why he called him. I think just Arabian's just a selfish fuck who wants to be called, like...
He's arrogant. He's not Arabian, he's arrogant.
That's probably
Let's
why
call
she
him
named
Arrogant
him.
Hummel.
Arrogant Hummel. That's
his name is Arrogant Hummel now.
She does overestimate her own abilities by saying that, like, I mean, the fuck are they gonna teach me? And I was like...
Yeah, what else could I learn here from people who don't talk?
I will say that this is something that I like, and that's, again, why I like reading this book first, in terms of, like, let's, like, all remind ourselves that she's 17. It says later somewhere that she had her birthday 2 weeks ago while she was in the desert, and it's like, what a horrible way to have a birthday. Fair.
Yeah.
It's like, so she's, like, young, and, like, I feel like this is every young person's trap. Thinking that, like, you're in your it's every high school person's trap of, like, you finally get to a feeling of security by senior year, and then, let's say, you go off to school, or even if you go off to a job, you're back down to, like, square one. It's a hard lesson to learn as, like, a youth in terms of, like, going from one place to the other, because it's...
And we'll never talk about it.
No, you just it's kind of something you have to learn, because it's not something you necessarily teach until it happens.
Right.
So it's like, what are they going to teach me that I don't already know? But then it's like, there's different cultures, there's different things to learn, there's different, obviously, techniques that you can... And obviously, as a young person... I get why she's arrogant, because that's, like, a big thing with Throne of Glass that there's, like, a critique about, and it's like, but I like that she's written this way.
Yeah. It's not fun. Like the usual female main character who's, like, all soft and dainty and, you know, I'm a virgin and then meet the love of my life, blah, blah, blah. Like...
Or it's not like, she's, like, she has, like, the normal shit that, like, a teenager would have flaws with. And it's not like she's perfect and, like, all-knowing and all-wise, because sometimes that does happen in fantasy books where it's, like, because they had so much bad things happen to them, they're like, I won't fall in the same. And it's like, no, but this is just something that all young people have a problem with.
I feel like I just want to say this now, even though it's going to be the course throughout this entire novella. It's just something I realized as I became more mature and less teenager is, like, the fact that there is so much knowledge in silence, because when you're silent, you're forced to listen.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, I learned that way too late, but, like, that is a perfect example of that. That's, like, one sentence that describes this whole
every angry teen.
Yeah.
So I also, God, the fact that you brought up, like, the hippie Jesus thing, I was like, so the Mute Master does walk barefoot, and I didn't pick up on that the first time, and I was like, dude, this is the desert, like, that'd be fucking hell, especially if, like, the roof is open, but who cares?
I mean, at that point, though, like, you know, he's probably got calluses on his feet or burned off all the nerve endings.
Let's go with, like, burned off the nerve endings.
He probably is both, honestly, but...
He, like, lifts up her chin, and it's supposed to be, like, a test of trust so that she doesn't, like, run away or, like, it's like a formality, right? So she does say, like, in her thoughts while she's looking at him, she has no idea what happened to Sam. We were questioning that last book. She doesn't mention him. It gets triggered by the fact that, like, when the Mute Master looks at her, like evaluates her, he notices, I mean, most of the bruises are gone, but you can still see them. And so it triggers out, like, what happened to Sam, and, like, so she doesn't know. So, like, when she got beat up, she does, and they bring it up later, but, like, right now, she's like, I don't know what happened to him. Also, the Mute Master does seem to be from Eelway, and it's something that's mentioned throughout this novella, is that, at least this book, is that this place is kind of for everyone. It's kind of like the Isle of Misfit Toys. Like, there are people from every province here, which is kind of dope. You can already tell, like, the difference between this. This is literally, like, honestly, this whole Silent Assassins is a foil between that and Arabian's Guild.
Yeah, because Arabian's Guild is very, like, strict and, like, privileged in that sort of sense, and all about, like, the riches and shit. And then this is, like, riches of knowledge versus riches of wealth, you know?
It's not only that, it's just more cutthroat. Like, even though we're talking about assassins, they somehow make, like, again, they're both Assassin's Guild, but somehow this one seems, like, more humane.
and friendly in a
like,
weird way.
Styles and teach, like, they're still, like, going out to contract kill people. Like, that's still, like, happening. But the way they treat each other is not like this. Even though there's an air of competition, it's not like, okay, I'll kill you to get my position.
It's more of respect of like, okay, you beat me. Nice. I'll beat you next time.
Or like, yes, I'll do better. That's not the completely different. She's getting a whole new
you beat me, I'm gonna fucking kill you in your sleep.
Yes. Like, the cutthroatness of Riddle is not what this is. Anyway, so they do set up a trap for her at the beginning to test her abilities, which kind of makes sense to be like, hey, how can you defeat these guys?
Right.
So then chapter 2, they don't have any weapons, so at first it's kind of hand to hand, and then I think they get pissed off enough that they pull out the swords, and she still beats them without the swords. Because they took her stuff. Like, they took her daggers, they took her backpack, like, when they got in. So she's literally defeating them hand to hand.
Yeah.
Like, doing a bunch of maneuvers and da-da-da. And I always love action scenes.
Yes. And it's like, it always feels good when we get a good action scene. Like, you could picture it in your mind.
Right. She writes it very cinematically, which, of course, she always does. Of course she was worthy. Yeah, no. As soon as I heard, again, I know that so many people's critiques of Celaena as a character, and it's like, no, but that's the point.
Yeah.
She's been so princessed by Arabian to think that she's like the best of the best, so that she doesn't think that she can get taught anything. And she's dehydrated and still whooped their ass. That's crazy.
Arabian might suck, but, well, he unfortunately trained her well.
Again, but it's also like there's an air of cutthroatness that they don't have, that it's like, not to say someone playing dirty, but they're gonna play harder. Because, like, there's an air of survival to it, of, like, animalistic shit, more than this is. It's more like, oh, I'm not gonna die if I don't win, but it's just gonna be disappointing. Versus her, it's like a level of, no, I gotta win, I gotta claw my way to the top.
Right.
So then we get to meet Ansel. At first I liked her. Obviously we don't want to rush to the end, but she's very beautiful. Apparently, like, she sticks out like a sore thumb here. She's got like super beautiful red hair. She's very pale. With being in the desert for 5 years, that's fucking crazy. Also,
some people they don't tan, they just burn.
I'm just saying, if we have any gingers in the audience, like, I feel like you would die here, right?
Right? Unless
they don't have SPF.
Sunscreen galore.
Yeah, they don't have like SPF 50 and like the fucking.
No, but I mean, there are natural ways to do sun protection. Like, if you rub your hand against the bark of an aspen tree, that is, I mean, it's no sunscreen, but it definitely works against sun's rays.
Yeah, this is why you're like, I had no fun. So her armor has a wolf's head all over it, like on her sword, first of all, I thought of the Starks. I very much thought Game of Thrones.
It's gotta take reference, right?
I mean, I don't even know when Game of Thrones was written. It was definitely before this, I think.
Yeah.
So she actually is very impressed by Ansel at first. First of all, she's like, how is she not dying in a full plate of armor?
Not even just the heat, but the strength to carry armor on your body.
And a strong woman who's also beautiful. Like, again, like me and Liesl said last time, like how Irene was a different foil. Like, Ansel is more of like a direct foil to Celaena because of the fact that she's like pretty and can fight. Also, I loved the sign language.
Yes. Yeah.
That was something that, like, when I first read this, I was like, that is so cool. Because if a lot of them are silent, they probably were just like, yeah, like, let's learn sign language to talk to each other. It makes complete sense. And the fact that Ansel can speak it, too. Ansel, hi, I'm your new roommate, by the way. I will tell you, since you didn't listen to the audiobook, the reason I also loved Ansel so much with the get-go is that she gave her a country accent.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, so she's just sitting there just like, oh God, what's something she said?
Howdy, pal. We're roommates now.
It's like, you'll start training tomorrow at dawn. Like, honestly, it kind of gave... Elizabeth Evans, 100%, she's, like, amazing. But I think why I liked that so much was it was also showing that she's from a completely different fucking area. Because, like, again, we'll figure out where she's from, but, like, it's so different than the rest of the continent that it's kind of funny that's a random accent instead of kind of like this fantasy lilt. It's
kind of
like
Southern Belle there.
It's very much like a hick vibe. But she's very well liked. Like, she's probably the most popular person here.
Yeah.
So... with this journey, it took her a month to get here. She'll have to stay here for a month, and it'll take her a month to get back. So she'll be 3 months away from Rifthold.
That is wild to consider that it takes a month to get from Rifthold to the Red Desert to where she is.
Right, because it's like, it's travel. Because she probably had to go by horse and some shit, and then, like...
Horse, boat, more horse.
Vote again.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was not a pleasure door.
No.
It seems Arabian also lied to her yet again, because she was like, I guess he told her that it wouldn't be easy to impress the Mute Master to, like, get into the guild.
Yes, like, and if you even make it into the guild.
It's like, oh, well, he just, like, let me...
Damn it, now I just have this idea of, like, a Jesus character going, like cool, you're in.
Oh my, just give him a thumbs up. If you're listening to it and you can't see it, she's giving a thumbs up.
Sorry if you're listening, we're talking about silent assassins.
Just doing a bunch of sign language and no one can understand.
It's like podcast entirely in sign language.
Ansel seems like a fun friend, especially when it, like, hit the country accent. I was like, yo, this is just going to be like a cool person that she's going to meet along the way. Little did I know. So I'm going to tell you right now, before we even get into all that, I did not see. That threw me off hard. Selena did not get to keep her bag and her dagger, so, like, they've kept them. And another part of this that makes it fun is that Selena's never had a roommate before. Remember, she's been pampered in her place because it's all men. So she's never had to, like, deal with someone else in her, like, space, but also, like, another woman as well. So she tells her, like, that she's only been around courtesans, and, like, she's the only woman back home. In all of the assassins, she's the only woman. But apparently here, it's kind of like half and half.
It's co-ed.
And I'm like, yo, there's so many women here.
A co-ed sleepaway killing camp.
Honestly, I would go to the side. If it didn't take having to go through the desert for 2 days, I think I'd go.
During that desert.
Well, but again, that's a huge deal in their world. The fact that she's like a girl and the only person on her side of the continent that's like an assassin is insane. And the fact that, like, so the fact that she's even seeing women over here is crazy. But the fact that they have heard of her from here is nuts too.
Yeah.
She is
like
so
all the way
well
out here in the desert, you know me.
So we kind of get some setup. I will say that when Ansel does bring up about the acolytes, so they're people who, like, I guess want to be assassins. They're children. Want to be assassins, but they haven't, like, you know, met their standards yet, whatever. I mean, I like the fact that there's children and that they don't, like, learn to fight. When Ansel said they, like, make people's beds and, like, put away books and stuff to show people, like, or to make them learn responsibility and humility, I think Selena was like, what is responsibility and humility? Like,
it's like,
she was,
what?
Like, what is that? Who is she? I have no idea what that is.
Responsibility? Who's that?
Well, no, because I was like, dude, when she was their age, she had, like, a sword in her hand. So it shows what could have been and versus what she got.
Right.
And I think that's, like, the sad part about it, right? Or at least the unfortunate part about it. Everyone seems to respect Ansel here. Like, she's very well loved. So as we kind of, at first, get about her backstory, she came when she was 13. They are both, like, the same age, so they're both 17. I wrote that. Oh, actually, sorry. Ansel is 18, while she's 17.
Yeah.
She's been there for 5 years, and the Mute Master has refused to train her personally, which makes Selena cautious because, holy fuck, I need a month. You've waited for 5 years to see him. How the fuck am I going to be able to do that?
Puts things in perspective.
Yes. So, also, I think what I really liked about their relationship from the get-go was the fact that it's almost like she was looking through a mirror, which again is what foils are, but it was the fact that she could see through her prying. Like, she was kind of asking some probing questions, but not, like, outright asking, like, what she wanted to know. Because, like, why she was asking about how long she's been here is because she was like, I want to know how long it'll take me to get with the Mute Master. And she's like, no, she gets right to it. She's like, no, I've been here for 5 years. You're not going to get that real quick, huh?
Yeah.
And I liked that. I like to see, like, another person who thinks like her to kind of get ahead of her, and she's a little confused.
It's like, oh, I know what you're asking. Here's the answer to the question you didn't ask.
So, Ansel is from the Flatlands. Which, first of all, because that's not what they're called on the map, and, like, no one probably, like, knows it as that country. The Midwest.
Your accent came out so much when you just said Flatlands. You're like, Flatlands. Flatlands.
Oh, because there's so many times where she does say something, and I'm like, yeah, that's how I would say it.
Flatlands.
Because it's not thick, but it's, like, enough to where it's, like, it's a Midwest accent for sure.
Yeah, it's noticeable at times.
So, the Flatlands are along the coast of the Western Waste. So, they're not on the main continent. They're on the other side, where, and again, go back to our map video, it's under where the old witch kingdom used to be, which they mention that later, and we'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
But, so, her father was the Lord of Briarcliff, so apparently that little stretch of coast, which, can I just say, even in, like, medieval standards, geographical politics are fucking stupid. Like, imagine a land that's literally just on the coast, and it's just literally that one strip, and it's like, yo.
It's like a beach.
I mean, yeah, but you're Lord of the Beach, which I guess is great.
Woo, Lord of the Beach.
And so again, Ansel is very much like Selena, and I'm just, every time I see it, I'm like, yo. So, Selena does mention about the sword. Apparently it's a family heirloom from her father, and the armor she bought herself. So it's like, Selena's like getting hints, so it's just like, she has money, she's from a nice family, she's trying to read her, right? Which it ends up going from like this chapter to the end, she reads her fucking wrong.
Yes.
I think something that killed me, and I don't know if you can relate, but when Ansel just out of the blue goes, so how many people have you killed? I was like, wow, asking body count is the same terribly for both ways.
Yes.
You do not ask someone's body count like that out of the blue.
No. But, I mean, real world or fantasy world, body count is important.
Right. She doesn't answer, by the way. She definitely skirts past that.
Yeah.
I do appreciate Ansel's no nonsense. She's kind of like, she's like, well, who did that to you? Like, or who looks worse? Do you or the person who did that to you? And she's like, yeah, I look worse. And she goes,
We'll need to work on that.
Yikes.
Also, you never ask about a fight like that. Like, you don't talk about Fight Club.
Especially when you just meet someone. Like, I get Ansel's, like, it seems like she's, at least at first, she's one of those people who you can kind of open up to really quickly. But
Selena, should you?
No, Selena isn't that type of person. I mean, and again, when she does ask her, like, did your master do that to you? The studded silence answers for itself.
I mean, she is pretty keen. She picks those things up pretty quickly. Like, as you said, like, she's picking up what Selena's accidentally putting down. But it's still like, thoughts to yourself, please? Filter?
Yeah, she has none. Yeah, she has none.
Yeah.
There was just a couple of things I found funny. Number one, the fact that Ansel was, like, saying, oh, the old people are gonna get cranky if you slash in the bath. And I was like, knowing that as an adult, I can really understand that, because there's some times where I just don't want to get my upper body wet.
Or even it's disruptive and loud,
As a kid, though, I was like, why are you bothered by this? And I'm like, as an adult, I'm like, yeah, I understand.
If I were at a place that, like, it was supposed to be, like, quiet, relaxing place or serene or something, and then a kid, basically, because that's basically what she is right now and how she's acting, a kid comes splashing through the fountain, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, what the fuck is wrong with her?
Or I'm gonna get, like, a cranky old person. I'm like, yeah, I know, that's how they sound. You don't even hear anything. Also,
no, they just start signing angrily. They come over and they're just like, I'm sorry to any people who signed. That was a really bad interpretation.
Like, how do you sign angrily? Like, is it just faster, or is it kind of like with an intention of motions? Like, I mean, like, probably their face looks upset. Like,
I think about, like, with conducting, right? Because conducting is basically a language of music. Like, if you're doing, like, soft music, you're, like, soft and flowy. And then if you're, like, doing angry music, you're
yeah, I'm not trying to, like, make fun of anyone who does sign language, but I could just imagine, like, a bunch of old dudes who are just, like, trying to do sign language, yelling at some kid.
But not actually yelling, they're just, like...
Right, and it's like, the kids are like, fuck, sign at me all you want, I don't give a shit.
They, like, just blankly stare, like, and then go back to it.
I do appreciate when she was talking about her expensive underwear and how she didn't want the guys to see it because they'd probably die. I was like, yeah, that's like me with any
underwear. Who fucking cares?
That's me with any of my, like, triple D undergarments.
I mean, I feel that way about any of my undergarments for sure. But, like, in terms of, like, at that sort of place, no one cares.
No. Also, nope to the communal baths. Fuck that. I don't mind a communal bathroom, but not like a communal pool. Like, that's just a big no.
I mean, that is what pools and hot tubs are, though. Like, the only difference is the amount of clothes you wear.
There's also chlorine, right? There's chlorine in it versus, like, a bath wouldn't have chlorine in it.
I guess.
Right? Like, I'm just saying.
I mean, they probably have some form of, like, stuff in there, if I had to guess.
Yeah, but it's not like Bleach. It's not that,
well,
like,
the thing
boring.
Well, maybe I'm just thinking of how it works in Japanese and, like, Asian countries, I guess, is, like, you know, you wash off first and, like, you do all the scrubbing and washing first, and then you soak in the bath. It's not like you scrub in the bath.
But this is probably not that.
Probably not.
So there's something as well that she keeps bringing up throughout this entire thing. She only cares about returning to Sam, and she just is like, what happened to him? And it's just constant, and it gets brought up a lot. But she also dreads going back.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. And that's, like, something as we get through this is that, like, she learns to, like, love this place, and it's like, wow, I really have, like, a shitty home life, don't I?
No, I understand that, though, in the other sense of, like, you know, with the threat of, like, well, if you don't get the letter of recommendation in a month, then don't come back at all. It's like, good. I mean, the only problem there is Sam. Like, she doesn't want to leave him.
There's also, like, being on this side of the world, like, away from everything gives kind of, like, a reprieve from her responsibilities. That makes, again, it's not like vacation, but it's like, okay, look what my life could be like. It's like an option, but then it's like, okay, there's not really an option because there's someone I care about that I need to get back to. Yeah. Not Arabian, not the guild, more just him, right?
Yeah, which wouldn't have been a thing before the first one.
Yeah, before Slaver's Bay. Skull's Bay.
Slaver's Bay, I mean, that's pretty accurate.
True. First of all, can I just call out Selena for going through Ansel's shit when she first got there? Because then she judged her for folding her underwear, and I went, bitch, the fuck? Okay, first of all, same. I do not fold my underwear, but also, she could just be OCD, and who cares?
Mm-hmm.
But then Selena was like,
a lot of people do fold their underwear.
I think this whole episode was like a Sam trip, where, like, everything, it was like, it's like a young girl falling in love. Which, again, to someone could be annoying, but to me, I find it very sweet and cute, right?
Falling in love by being away from them in a traumatizing moment. Again,
because she's been with him this entire time, her whole life, right? To when she grew up. So this is her longest way of a time away from him, I would assume. So the fact that she goes, I bet Sam folds his underwear. How many times, not in that specific moment, but how many times as a high schooler, or even, like, at this age, I was like, yeah, I bet so-and-so does this. Like, at every moment, this is totally something I did.
I can't say I've had that kind of experience when thinking about a crush. Of, like, oh, my crush probably does this thing, but then again, I'm not stereotypical main character, so. I'm just a character.
So, you're the best friend.
Yeah.
The main character.
Side character.
But hey, you get the hot other guy.
Let me know when you find a hot guy that has a hot best friend.
You get the hot best friend, so you're golden. So did that mean in that you get Garrick, and then I'd get Zayden? Hey,
I guess so.
Honestly, I would rather pick Garrick.
Wait, does that mean I get Zayden then?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
I would still prefer Azrael.
Well, yes, okay.
Okay, if Azrael wasn't available, then fine, I'll go with Zayden.
Yeah, not agreed. So, something that Selena's scared of is that, so this is kind of like something that we're kept in the dark about, that we don't really know why. But, like, apparently Selena has a protection against Arabian that Sam doesn't. So, I don't know if it's because it's her protege, the heir thing, because the thing is, you could choose another heir, who gives a fuck.
Right, and also right now she's kind of in hot water with Arabian.
Yeah, like, why is he so invested? Like, what kind of protection does she have that he doesn't, is kind of the main question. So we finally get the flashback. We finally get the night that it happened. So we see Selena, it's in Selena's distress. She's actually so scared and stunned she can't speak because she knows that her, like, voice will wobble if she talks. She's never seen Arabian this mad, but she doesn't regret it. Like, it's one of those things where you're getting yelled at, but it's like, I don't regret what I did.
Which means it was the right thing to do.
Like, you can never, like, even though I'm getting, like, punished, like, no, I don't feel any sort of regret. So we get some names. We get 4 names here that we didn't before. We get Wesley, Turn, hilarious, Mullen, and Harding. One of these guys, Wesley, is Arabian's personal bodyguard, which, what a bitch for having a personal bodyguard.
He's the king of assassins. He doesn't need.
My God.
Same track.
And then the other 3 guys are kind of just, I don't want to say they're unknown. Obviously, they got names, so that's important in some aspect. They just kind of seem like 3 bullies, 3 other just guys in this guild.
I mean, everyone seemed like a bully in this guild for the most part.
True. So they come in and they immediately start to hold Sam back, and I, like Selena, thought they were going to start walloping him.
Mm-hmm.
So, but instead, she is so thrown off when Arabian throws the first punch to her face.
The precious face that she was hiding.
Yo, I was like, okay, obviously I'm very pro equal feminist rights and shit. I never think it's okay to hit a woman especially when she's not fighting back.
Mm-hmm.
I think if there's, like, obviously, in more of a scenario where it's, like, a guy up against a girl, I think, okay, fight, fuck, I guess.
Fight, fuck. No, but, like, in this sense, she's also a minor, and, like, in our morals, it's like, you never hit a kid.
Yeah, so he's just, like, he's walloping her because, but I think the fucked up thing was that she didn't fight back, and they were careful blows, so that there was no permanent damage. Like, Arabian is so
manipulative.
No, I was gonna say good with his punches, that he can make it so that they leave a mark, but they're not permanent.
Which is kind of scary. It's like, you know how to punch like that? That's not good.
Dude, that's like all abusers, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like the ones that leave it in certain places so that, like, they don't get seen.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that's the scary part about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sam was screaming the whole time, and this was a Mew moment. I'm just gonna say that. She felt guilt over the blood on the rug, and then goes, oh, but at least it's red. And then has that moment of realization of, oh, is that why it's red?
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, fuck, I don't want to think about that.
No, it's like, has this rug always been red?
Is there dyes in this world? I don't really know.
Yes.
Here's the natural dye. I'll just taunt the shit out of someone and make my white rug red. Crazy. So, then we get to chapter 3. I think this is the first time as, like, she's putting on her makeup for the day, which, crazy that she's putting on eye makeup to go out in the desert. Because I don't think at this point they knew how to make, like, waterproof mascara.
No, definitely not. She wasn't thinking she was gonna start sweating.
No, that was crazy. I kind of subtly judge anybody who goes to either to work out and or to the pool with makeup on. Like, I'm talking like full makeup. I'm not even talking just like, oh, I was out doing something and then kind of my makeup from earlier just kind of is there.
Right, or like a natural makeup or whatever, but like full on like eyeshadow, everything, eyeliner, mascara.
I'm like, because people do that. I know it's like seems rare, but people do that.
Going to the gym to pick up a man, you know?
No, dude, just go to, haven't you seen the TikToks? Everybody's going to Barnes & Nobles. Do you know how many fucking guys I saw in Barnes & Nobles the other day just by themselves? I was like, you fucking vultures.
I mean, they read books, or they're there to pick up book talk girlies, you know?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, side note, I had this like one moment with this guy where like I dropped something, and I really didn't mean to, but he was on the other side, so like it's like we like peeked through the crack in like the thing, and so he turns around and goes, oh, and then I look and I'm like, oh, make eye contact. I'm sorry. Like I even like did like the little like head bow thing because we do that.
Yeah.
And he just goes, oh, it's all right, and then hands it back to me, and I'm like, I just sit there and I'm like,
did you brush hands? Did you feel the moment that the thread snapped between you two?
No. It was just funny because like you talk about me having so many moments like that, and it actually did happen.
She's a movie character, guys.
Anyway, so
an FMC living in her own world.
I know that you said this was nice, but like I will say, as like an OCD person, as someone who's very loud, when Ansel walks her to dinner, and then like they went from quiet to not talking to them talking more, I was like, at least they didn't mention any signs, more just that Ansel just kind of just did it out of her own habit. If there's no signs, fuck it. Because if it's like an area sectioned off to, but they were just walking down the boulevard. Like it wasn't, they were in like a certain room. That part would make me upset. Because like I would be like, I don't know. Because then I would be upset that I'm being loud.
Right. And it's like the fact that you didn't know about it. I think it either has to be there's signs or you're being told where the places are rather than you're just expected to be quiet in these places.
Yeah. They go to the dining hall. It's like, again, I don't know. This is like, I feel like this is Selena feeling what high school should have been like, or like, I guess like her youth should have been like, having like these more normal encounters. Because if we remember back from book 1 when they were just sitting at dinner, but they weren't like, but it was like a table with each other. It felt very menacing and old and very like adult versus this feels more of a high school cafeteria.
Very much so.
And Ansel's, like, introduces her to everyone, to the friends. Another thing is, like, Ansel seems to know how she thinks when being in rooms with people and or, like, talking to them. Because, like, the first thing is she's like, well, it's not poisoned. It's like, well, I didn't say it was. But she's like, yeah, but you were...
assassins.
Yeah, but, like, I mean, they're getting trained to be assassins. Not that there'd be, like... But again, shows the cutthroatness versus her old place, right? So they get introduced to the... what I was assuming would be their villain for this arc episode, book, whatever. Lord Barrack is the local villain and rules over the city of Xandria, which at first totally thought Alexandria. We also get introduced to Mikhail, Ansel's, I guess, boyfriend. I would say boyfriend, because she said they've been together for 3 years.
Partner.
Yeah. So the lore about Lord Barrack is that he wants the silent assassins dead, because the King of Otterland set an embargo on the Red Desert after the Lord failed to send troops to Eelway to crush their rebellion. Because if we, at least from what we've gotten so far, again, we'll get more of that, you know, and let us know down in the comments if you want, like, us to, because we tried to do this last time with ACOTAR, where we were trying to come up with, like, a big timeline of events. But with this, Eelway is still an open rebellion against Otterland. Currently, the political climate is that everyone else is, like, succumbed to Otterland's empire.
Everyone's been conquered.
Yeah, Eelway's the last one resisting. So, if you do not know what an embargo is, an embargo is like a halt on all trade. So obviously they are so separated from the rest of the world that, like, that's like to the empire in particular, because they're their closest people. So if they can't trade with any of their cities, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes this guy's motive. I'm not saying it makes it viable, but I just really don't get his motive. Why, like, he thinks that getting the Mute Master's head will make the King of Otterland happy. I don't even think he knows that they fucking exist.
Right.
That these silent assassins exist. I mean, he probably
They're silent.
does.
They're silent but deadly.
I don't, again, it's like the dumb forethought of men. Like, why, don't you think, like, maybe crushing some rebellion would be better than trying to get this guy's head off? Like, I don't know, crushing some Eelway cities, like, I don't know.
Whatever.
Cause, like, then they bring up, like, a couple of times they tried to dig a tunnel into the fortress, and I'm like, you dumb fucks. You can't do that when, like, there's, like, open desert, and then, like, they're gonna be seen. They're gonna be spotted.
Right.
Nothing has worked.
It's kind of hard to break into a place that hosts assassins.
So we learned something new pretty early on, is that Ansel has met with this guy before. Like, apparently she is the envoy to him to try to negotiate peace talks. Which then, of course, shows Selena that she must be very trusted, very, valuable to the Mute Master, that he's sending her as an envoy to him. And so obviously they get to talk a little bit more, and they show that there's some, like, dignitaries, envoys here. This is literally described as an oasis where people from all over the world seem to, like, come and enjoy peace. Which...
So finding peace with assassins? Interesting.
It's very cool because, I don't know, this whole time, and even in, like, the last book, she was, like, just bitching about going to this place. And then even to the end, it's almost like there's a bit of it, I kind of want to stay here. Because this is kind of like paradise, right?
It's considering peaceful. There's no expectations necessarily, other than try your best.
Yeah. So, Mikhail sort of informs Selena that these envoys either try to pick people up for lifetime contracts for their kingdoms, cities, whatever, or just with contracts, because most people actually don't want to leave this place because it's like their home, right? I will say it was cute when he said, I don't want to leave this place. I have my reasons to stay. And then looks across to Ansel. Again, it's like that young high school love. I appreciated that throughout this episode. And then I was very, very heartbroken. Obviously, Ansel said she doesn't want to get picked up either because she's like, my daddy. Like, I swear that's how she sounds. I'd have to like share with you some of this audio.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
So, an interesting thing that Mikhail brings up to her is that none of these envoys or none of these people are in Otterland's empire because Arabian is so cutthroat about where his lines are in terms of, okay, you cannot hire assassins unless it's through me in my territory. And the fact that, like, Mikhail had to reassure that thinking that Aelin, fucking God. I'm so glad it's not.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time I've done that. Well, this episode.
Yeah, I haven't made that mistake yet.
I know. I think it's because I was thinking of Otterlin, and then it's A, and then I'm like, what was he saying? He's afraid that Selena is going to rush back to Arabian and say, hey, they're,
But it's like, they're not part of the Assassin Empire.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, he's just afraid that, like, you know, he'd come after them, right? Holy fuck. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, I love Sam, but holy fuck Ilias. A hot, dark-haired, handsome man with sea green eyes and a bright smile. How the fuck? I would have at least indulged a little. Hey, you're young, like, try different things, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, you know, sex can be quiet.
It's like when people go to like a summer abroad, they're like, well, I wanted to fall in love with some like
summer fling, you know?
Yeah, like a month fling. I did even okay, first of all, as desirable as Sam, and then she goes, oh wait, what? When did I start thinking of Sam as desirable? And I was like,
Sam desirable? What the fuck? He just helped me free some slaves and risked his life. Like, why is that desirable?
Again, it's like that, like, if I thought of myself when I was younger, this would definitely be like a facepalm moment. I'd be like, oh, damn it. So apparently he's the Mutant Master's son.
The Forbidden Son. Do it.
Which then goes,
I mean, do him.
Which means that, like, she goes, oh, well, I guess he's not celibate. Like, I guess you don't need to talk to have sex, right? You said?
Yeah, exactly. You can have silent sex.
Some of us can.
You, as in the royal you?
Yeah. That made me die, though, because she's like, she just assumed that he was, like, living some monk style, and she's like, oh, I guess he fucked at least once.
Yeah.
Of course, main character energy, he doesn't really seem to watch anyone else, but she walks in, and he's just infatuated with her, watching him, or she's watching, he's watching her.
They're all watching each other together.
So, okay. So Ansel asked her if she ever had any suitors, right? And she's like, no. She's like, yeah, you're lying. She's like, no, I haven't. The only two people she's been, quote unquote, infatuated with, so I'm gonna say, like, crushes, is some dude, a courtesan named Archer, and she says Ben, bro. And I'm like, that...
Wasn't he like a father figure?
I do love how she did add in there. I think that was maybe Sarah adding that in there, but she was like, yeah, you know, before I knew that it was, like, wrong. So I'm gonna assume she was, like, super young and she was just like,
like handsome man.
I don't want to say that was, like, a crush, more just as, like, someone she, like, idolized.
Very much admiration, and then that, because she didn't know any better, that came across as, oh, that must be a crush.
That was her accidentally putting, like, two into the same barrel, and I was like, no, definitely one of them is different than the other one.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that so then even Mikhail goes like, oh, your master did that. Does, like, everyone fucking know? Does everyone know that I got beat up by my master? Is that, like, is this going on around here?
Probably, considering that she's so well known, supposedly, that, like, who the hell could put bruises on her face?
Mm-hmm. Oh, he asked if she deserved it. I loved what she said there. When she's like, it depends on who's telling the story. Like, if you ask the 200 slaves I'd freed, they say that I did the right thing. And he goes, he goes, like, back to eating. He's like, yeah, fuck, I deserve that one.
It's like, I mean, they, like, kind of had a moment, a split-second pause of, like, you freed 200 slaves. Okay, back to eating.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those moments, I got what he was trying to say. He was trying to add, like, an air of kind of lightness to it, but then it's like, yeah, you really shouldn't be saying stuff about stuff you don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when, like, it's, you know, a girl got beat up. Like, that's just, like, typical ignorant boy shit.
Yeah, I mean, Selena's pretty arrogant, too, but yeah, for a moment like that.
Yeah. So, I will say, camel pelts, when they wake up the next morning to do what they were supposed to do, I was like, I don't think I've ever heard of camel pelts. Like, I know that that's probably, like, the animal in the area, but that threw me off so hard. I was like,
they can't exactly have bear pelts, so.
I was like, poor camels. Well, I don't think of pelts in the desert, bro. Like, why would you need pelts in the desert?
Shade.
Oh, okay. So, the morning task is to run a 3-mile run to the next oasis, carrying 2 wooden buckets to get water, and then have the water to come back. And the first thing I said, so that's 6 miles in total. I was like, this is some Karate Kid bullshit.
Yep.
We're not actually training, we're just doing... But the thing is, that's some hardcore train. Dude, we die.
We literally died on our single walk. That was not even a mile.
So, when we went to the dunes, when we went, and we were walking through, and they're running. They're not walking, like, okay, short thing. We had people who left our campsite to go up to, like, a super top dune, and we went to, like, a smaller one, and I shit you not, guys, that smaller one, like, almost, like, hurt us both. It was so tough. So the idea of them going to that top one, I could only imagine.
I mean, and it's the whole thing, like, you need really strong legs, because, like, when you're walking in sand, a lot of people know this, like, when you're on the beach, for example, that's something people can relate to. When you're on the beach and you're walking on the hot sand to get down to the solid sand, you know, your feet are slipping and sliding, and it's hard to keep your balance, and then when you're trying to come back up off the beach, you're just, like, you know, your legs are burning, unless you're really active. Like, your legs are burning because, like, you use all of the muscles in your legs to, like, walk in sand. It's not an easy thing to walk in.
Yeah.
And so, like, especially, like, you gotta have, well, tough feet, obviously, for those that run barefoot. Like, you gotta have tough feet. It's probably, like, burning hot. Running in the morning when it's still cooler is also helpful. But it's, like, shifting, and you gotta have strong feet. And I also think about, like, beach volleyball, for example. Like, those people who play beach volleyball, they're way more fit than people who play volleyball inside. Because they have to be able to keep their balance. So it's like, no, I would die, you would die, we would all die.
Yeah, no, it's again, another thing in the theme of, you know how it works back where you're from. But, like, it's the fact that you learn this stuff, and then you'll be much better when you go back. Because you added, like, an extra element to this that you don't have.
Sorry, another thing I was going to say about the beach volleyball, because I was thinking of Haikyuu, the volleyball anime. In Haikyuu, when in the manga, so after the anime ended, like, after, like, the high school part was over, one of the characters goes to play volleyball in Rio, and, you know, he's playing beach volleyball, and he realizes, because he's, like, you know, he's a wing spiker, so he's very much the jump and attack kind of thing. His whole thing is he jumps really high. But he can't do that as well in the sand. But then, after, like, a year of playing beach volleyball, he goes back to the court, and suddenly he can jump twice as high as before.
Yep. So it's like,
oh, wow.
Again, learning that is, like, what is this whole process?
The learning process.
So she has to, like, prove herself again, and the fact that all these other people have been patiently waiting for the Meat Master too, and they're leagues ahead of her, it just feels very hopeless at the moment. The first day is always the hardest for anything like that. So Ansel basically says, I'll take you under my wing. You can train with me until he notices you, because we all have our secret agenda. And there's so many moments when you do it on a reread, and I'm like, yeah, she kind of seems sus at times. This was one of those moments. I'm like, yeah, you have a secret agenda, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would also say if you could run there and back, then you could do anything. I think that's yes, I agree.
I mean, and it's not just a physical game, it's a mental game too.
Yes. It's funny because then she goes, oh, it wasn't even flat. The 3 mile trek wasn't flat, and I was like, oh, that's worse.
You have to go up the dunes.
So much worse.
And sliding and going down the dunes is just as hard as going up because you sink, you know?
I love how everyone's, like, chilling at the oasis while, like, she gets there and, like, she's dying and everyone's just kind of, like, chilling.
I picture her, like, dragging herself towards the water while they're just, like, all chilling and sipping from coconuts or some shit, you know?
The dates or whatever they have.
Yeah.
I will say, like, unlike Otterlin, they don't really seem to be paying her any mind. Or at least, like, giving her a wide berth or...
seriously humbling her.
Yeah, but it's, like, in the moment, she's like, I don't know how I think about that, but then she goes, I think that that's nice. That I don't feel like I have to be on guard because people are watching me.
And she doesn't have to perform.
Yes. Very. Where did this... Oh, so when they go back to dinner, I was trying to figure out where my note was from. I love how they're not, like, again, goes back to the whole competition, cutthroat thing. they're like making fun of themselves. Like Ansel tells her a whole story about, oh, well, I couldn't even make it my first time. Like Ilias had to come and save me because I fucking passed out.
Yes, please.
Yes. I'm so proud of you.
I've learned your ways.
That is a me thing. I'd be like, yes, please, come and save me. Yes.
So you'd be like, hot.
No, really hot. I was fucking dehydrated.
Like, I'm burning up. Please burn me faster.
It did take her a whole day, bro. She barely made it back to get to eat. She was late, too. After this day, her swagger died a bit. And it was that good life lesson that made me be like, okay, I think she can do this.
She can do it. She's willing to learn now. She's being humbled and she doesn't shut down from it.
Right. But the only thing that she's like trying to get around though is she tries to corner the master later. Oh, I also wanted to mention that Mikhail and Ansel are holding hands underneath the table. Again, it's
hush,
just
hush.
I think like before like the shit hits the fan, it's nice to like find moments like this because again it makes me this whole thing is just high school to me. He looks like she says she looks like he was wearing a wedding ring. She doesn't actually say anything to him. And she doesn't even use sign. She kind of does it through like talking faces.
I just think of that one meme of the two black women who are just like, Rose.
Oh my god, yes, Keke Palmer.
Yeah.
Two black women, Keke Palmer.
I was blanking on her name, but she's just like a Rose. And it's like Titanic.
But she doesn't have to say anything for him to know what he means. The fact that the master is just like a cute, smiley old man is very like humbling and sweet to me.
Jesus.
All I'm thinking of is just I'm thinking of greasy hippie Jesus, and that's like all I'm thinking of now.
Hippie swagger Jesus,
but like a little older with some like gray in the beard. So she does try to go after him a second time, and Ilias stops her, which I was like, oh.
Oh, hello. I will face you instead.
Now, okay, dumb bitch. The fact that she thinks, oh, this is why he's watching me. He's like, okay, like protege, heir protege. Got it. That's
not because he's attracted to me. It's because he's protected.
No, he doesn't trust me. I get it. Now it makes sense. The fact that he has no weapons, and she's like, yeah, he's just a weapon. Because they said he was like 6'3" or something like that. I was like,
that's a weapon.
Yes, please.
Please use your weapon on me.
You know how much I love a good pair of green eyes, dude. And like dark hair.
I'm glad you didn't hear that.
Are you talking about like an assault with a deadly weapon, like his penis?
No, I said, please use that weapon on me.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, same thing.
Not deadly, just weapon.
So it won't make me walk the next day, sort of. So they're also kind of mirrors to each other in a way, because like he's very respected amongst his peers as being like the heir.
There seems to be a lot of respect going on around this place.
Yeah, just there's respect here. There isn't back home. And she goes, yeah, nobody respects me back home because I'm also a girl and there's sexism over there. There is a sexism afoot. I do like the whole theme of nothing will be as bad as the first time. That is any time you're doing something. Like when I first started working out, walking around the river walk back home, it was all like the first time walking it was rough because it was hilly. It had like a bunch of different like twists and turns in it, and I was like trying to do it at a pace. And eventually, like later down the line, like I ended up like going faster without thinking about it. And so Ansel tells her like every day it's going to be 1 foot more than you did yesterday, or like it's going to go past without you knowing it. And again, that's something that all young people figure out whenever they start something new, especially something physical. But even if you're doing it at a job, like nothing is going to be as hard as your first day.
Right.
She also kind of feels like her reputation is at stake here because like they don't really know too much about like, so she's like their one thing that they know about Audlin. So she's kind of have to have a good face here. Yeah. Let's not glare by the fact that Mikhail is in his mid-20s and they got together 3 years ago. And when she was
I mean, when you're an assassin, age doesn't matter.
Girl, that means if he's in his mid-50s now, he was at least maybe 21 when she was 14. That's...
Mid-20s, you mean?
Crazy. Yeah, he is in his mid-20s right now. So they got together 3 years ago. So if I'm thinking he's 25 now, he was 21.
Yeah. 22.
So, whatever the fuck.
Either way, he was like in his early 20s while she was even younger teen.
But this is what made her seem more like a country hick to me, was when she goes, well, people in the flatlands are married at 14. And I was like,
like, consensually?
Probably not. I mean, obviously this is a fantasy world, very much kind of like a Bridgerton era style. People are getting married super young. That doesn't surprise me. I just was like, Mikhail, what the fuck? Oh my god. There was like a quote of a Game of Thrones thing where some guy said, she's grown comely these last few years. And I was like, please stop.
Stop.
Do not say comely. I hate that, actually.
Yeah. Just stop.
That's how I felt with that. And then, because she was obviously thinking about relationships, she immediately goes, So why did Sam need 3 people to restrain him?
I wonder.
I was like, bro, this is a young kid. I'm trying to fucking understand why someone likes her. It's real. Yeah. So obviously, the days go by. Selena gets better and better every day. So she can, because the thing is, you have to finish the 6-mile run in the morning, but then if you get done with it, you can attend the lessons. Like, the fighting lessons and shit. The important stuff, right?
Which, like, logically, that makes sense, because if you're thinking about it, it's like, you need to be strong enough and have enough stamina from the run. Like, you need to have enough stamina to be able to attend the lessons, and what better way to do that? Make you run for 6 miles every morning.
Here's where she says, and I quote, "Weakness was never to be shown at any cost. Brutality was rewarded. But the silent assassins, though they too might be killers, they looked to one another for learning. Embraced collective wisdom."
Wisdom is more important than competition.
I like that because it's like, okay, we're better as a collective, especially with us living together. So even our weakest link has to be at like the same. So we should be building each other up more so than like letting each other fall behind.
Right. Like, what point is it being all the way at the top if you've got no one left behind you?
Well, because then she thinks about how even Arabian set up Sam and her to be enemies from the get-go. Or the fact that, and again, this is just Arabian being a toxic male, how she should, again, it's just an abusive relationship, right? Don't trust anyone that isn't me. And it's like, holy shit.
That's a bit to unpack.
That's a whole can of worms right there. The fact that she subtly, though, was like, I'm gonna get that letter, even if I have to hold a dagger to the new master's throat. I was like, girl, we were on a good path. Why did
The whole point of this was so that you could, like, earn his attention, you know?
I think that was more of just sometimes when you're, like, working at something, you're just like, God damn it, I just want to, like, get done with this shit. And then they just get mad. Like, anyway. So the 5th night she's there, Lord Barrick attacks, which kind of assumed to happen since they said that it happens every so often. The big question, which again is foreshadowing, but again, we'll talk about that later. How did they know that there was going to be less assassins here tonight? There is a spy afoot.
There's a mole.
Yes. So Mikhail and Ilyas set up a trap for them to scare them because they don't want to kill people. Wow. What news?
They don't want to kill people. I think that, like, when I first read that, I was surprised, but, like, in a good way of, like, we may be assassins, but we don't needlessly take lives.
Right. If we could just scare these pussies away, then, like, that's fine, right? Like, we don't have to kill them.
We'll kill to defend ourselves or contract. Like, we don't just kill to kill.
The fact that Ansel, though, and this should have been, like, another clue, but the fact that she was like, yeah, I just wish we could kill them. There's so many moments where it's like, Selena's like, because Selena and Ansel are so similar, she knows that there's more to that than just, like, a funny jab.
Yeah.
I could see maybe a Mikhail or an Ilyas thinking just like, haha, that's just Ansel being funny. But Selena's like, no, she's saying that for real.
Yeah.
So it's like, again, it's coming off as like an air of glee when it's actually she's like, yeah, we should, like, it's cutthroatness that nobody else is seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but it's also the reason they're trying not to kill people is like they will start a full scare war if they just kill needlessly.
Mm-hmm.
How they do it, though, the fact that they just have this big net that they light up on fire that's around the whole fortress was very badass to me.
Mm-hmm.
I could, like, visualize it and see it, and it was so cool because it just, like, on fire.
Mm-hmm. It's like, wow, how did they make that?
I was like, ooh, even though it's like them.
Ooh, pretty.
So, after the attack, Ansel is, like, the next day, they send Ansel a letter saying that she's ordered to go to Xandria to try to meet with Lord Barrick again to say kind of what the fuck. Can we not have peace? Jesus Christ. So, in a moment of just Ansel's like, hey, do you want to come with me? It's the fact that Ansel knows how to manipulate her, though, that makes it good. Is because she goes, well, if you come with me, then that might impress the master a little bit. And she's like, don't you want to, like, stop running from, like, day to day, right?
It's like, the running is for a purpose, not just for an inconvenience.
I mean, to her, probably doing it day in and day out, probably she'd be like, yeah, I want to go, right?
Yeah.
So it's 2 days through the desert. So they don't have, like, tents. They're literally just, like, exposed to the elements sleeping on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck no. I literally said fuck no to that scorpion in the hair.
Mm-hmm.
I literally put that in the notes.
Yep, she did.
And I have never felt more satisfaction than, like, you being Ansel in that moment of me bitching, and then her going, well, at least it isn't sandstorm season. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, that was a me and you moment for sure.
Definitely.
And Selena said the same thing I do, where she's like, I don't mind, like, I've roughed it before, but I don't want to. Like, I don't like to, but I'll do it. So, here's a big lore alert, and I fucking loved this when I first read this. Because, again, we haven't got many aspects of, like, I don't want to say magic or otherworldliness. It's kind of just been humans at this point, right?
Mm-hmm. There
is a curse amongst Ansel's lands. The Kraken Queens ruled 500 years ago. Those are witches. When they say Kraken Queens, those are witches.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so sorry. I'm so excited I'm getting ahead of myself.
Lore alert, lore alert.
Ansel tells the story to Selena as they're on their way to this, when she asks about her lands. Then 500 years ago, the Iron Teeth clan witches, so it's like two witch clans against each other, right? Mm-hmm. Destroyed all of it, and destroyed the Kraken dynasty. Mm-hmm. It's funny as fuck Ansel says, the Krakens are beautiful and ethereal, and the Iron Teeth are ugly as fuck. And
that's what you think of when you think of, like, witches and hags.
And they have iron teeth. It's not just like they have iron claws, like iron tipped nails, and iron teeth, which badass, but would not want to run into.
You did.
So Ansel describes that the last Kraken Queen, before she died, cast a spell on the land that no iron teeth could live on this land and survive. Because the water ran out, the crops died, the animals died.
It's basically plague.
Yeah, so they won, killed everyone, right? But they had to escape their homeland, or the place they were taken away. So they can't live there anymore. So it seems like, from what I'm thinking, is that Ansel's family, whoever, like, because again, this was 500 years ago. They're not that old.
Mm-hmm.
So established in that area.
Yeah.
And became the, like, she even brings up later, like, the High King. Because this is, like, all one big land. It's not just, like, multiple provinces like the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Again, go back to our map video to see a visual.
Yep.
Ansel has seen one of these witches. So back in the days of Ansel's youth, her sister, and a girl named Maddie went poking around where they shouldn't, like young girls do. Young kids. When her sister was 11 and she was 8, there was an archway at the bottom of a tower that it said if you looked at the summer solstice, you could see into another world. Which I go, haha.
What?
That seems just kind of like some border village nonsense. going off of the
That sounds like like the witches are a myth to scare children into eating their veggies, and then this like seeing to another world is like a legend, a bedtime story.
Well, I bet if like people haven't seen witches since like the 500 years ago, right? I would assume that probably most of the humans don't think they exist anymore.
Yeah. Also, what is it with SJM in 500 years?
I don't know. It was true, right? I think there's a purpose to that, but off the way.
That's how she lines everything up.
So Ansel did not go down in the shadows, but Maddie and her sister did. But only her sister appeared after she heard like screaming. Apparently the Iron Teeth old woman witch. So apparently she was an older woman. Killed Maddie, but the old woman was gone the next morning. Because when they went to go look for her, all they found was bones picked clean. The bones were white.
No thanks.
Yikes! I think this is like our first intro to something kind of supernatural.
Yeah.
Or at least hinted at, right? So Ansel gives Selena a piece of advice, which I'm thinking, because I've read a book before, I'm like, you're gonna need this at some point. The only way to kill a witch is to cut off her head.
So zombie-like.
Yeah, very supernatural-like, I would say. Because that's normally how you deal with most supernatural things. I mean, you can't really come back from getting beheaded most of the time.
Yeah.
So we kind of get peered into a little bit of Ansel's, like, purpose. Like, or that secret agenda that she talked about, right? She wants an army of her own one day so that she can hunt down all the witches. Which is, like, good luck with that. I think that they're witches for a reason. Like, I think that's, like, a nice thing, but it's kind of one of, at least to me, I was thinking, there's gotta be at least some nice ones, right?
Like, there's always good and bad. Like, it's not just all bad or all good.
Again, it's young girl ignorance, right? It's like this one thing happened to this girl when I was younger, so death to them all, right?
Right.
And the big thing was, and again, foreshadowing, again, this is so in the face, but in the moment, I was just like, Ansel's just Ansel, and blah, blah, blah. She literally complains to Selena that the silent assassins don't do anything. They have all this power, but they're just sitting there doing nothing when they could be, like, raising up and fighting. Which, can I say, as a country thrown into wartime, especially with a kind of like a king that has an empire, sort of, I see where she's coming from. And the fact that, okay, you guys are just, I mean, imagine people who are in war, like, now and whatever, and like, oh, well, you're happy in your little oasis side part of the world, but what about us?
Right.
Like, it's eventually gonna come to you.
Right. Once they're through with us, they're coming to you.
I get the upsetness at being complacent. Do I agree with her that they're, like, doing nothing? No. But again, like, I get where her upsetness comes from. So anyway, after they have that night of explaining to each other, or, well, her monologuing, right? It's market day in Xandria. So it's, like, very much like I'm definitely thinking Aladdin, Jasmine walking through the streets. Like, that's how, like, what I'm picturing. Vendors from all over the kingdoms. The weird thing is, Selena's not allowed to go into this meeting. Another fucking sign.
Sign, yeah.
Did you suspect that she was bad? Because I didn't.
I didn't think she was bad. It just felt like something was off. It's like, why isn't, like, like, you could come along and that would impress the master. But then, like, she's not actually allowed in the meeting, which suggests, so then, like, what? Am I not allowed to tell things to the master of how it went? Like, why are we not talking to the master about this after? Kind of vibe.
Well, because, like, what's the point of me coming if I'm not, like, I just came for a ride along?
Right.
But then, because it's a manipulation, dude, she's like, oh, it's just a boring meeting. You're gonna have more fun.
It's like, well, why didn't I come?
I mean, it's like, it's like a common manipulation tactic of like, oh, well, it's just gonna be a boring thing. Like, you're gonna have more fun than I. Like, go have fun.
Yeah.
So she spends the next 2 hours at the vendors. Another kind of humbling thing is something in Rifthold is that she kind of had very much like an ACOTAR where Reese gave Feyre like the store credit to everything in Valaris. She had that in Rifthold, but now like she doesn't have like 2 fucking coppers to rub together, so she's like, oh, money's a thing, even though I want all these things. And she never had to think of them before. I was like, very humbling moment there.
Yeah.
I don't really know where this falls into my evaluation, but I just wanted to, like, let everyone know that there's another goddess mentioned. This says Lainey, the goddess of dreams.
Mm.
It was just, like, people, like, again, anytime, like, a goddess is mentioned, I'm definitely writing it down. Because it's important.
Anytime something is given a name.
Yes, but also, like, especially if it has something to do with a god. The fact that she was, like, debating on shoes, though, I don't know if you've ever been in a market, like, I definitely have, where it's like, oh, I want to get something, and then I'll come back to get it. I'm, like, debating on it, I'll walk away, and then come back and get it anyway.
I mean, I've done that, just not at a marketplace like that.
Or just even when you're at the store, like, that happens. So here's also another lore alert. She kind of, in a gleam of her eye, she sees something in the corner, and it's spider silk. She knows what this means. We don't, obviously, because it's new. Mm-hmm. Apparently, it's a silk that is it's super malleable, but it's stronger than steel to break.
I can understand that, because, like, spider webs are actually that strong, like, in terms of, like, proportionate size. And if you were to weave spider webs together, they're really impossible to break like that.
And especially if I'm, like, picturing, like, Aragog from, like, anytime I think of the Stygian spiders, I think of Aragog, so I'm like, if they're, like, that big spiders, like, they don't even say that they're big. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because the fact that they're saying that they're in some, like, random mountain, I'm like, yeah, these motherfuckers are big, I think.
They're either big, or there's a shit ton of them.
Yes. So, basically, as she walks up to this vendor, legend says that the Stygian spiders lurk in the Rune Mountains, which, again, this is why we did the map episode before we went into this, because there's so many mentions of it. The Rune Mountains are in, like, the main part of Aurelia. They're, like, on the... It's, like, basically across from Otterlund, like, in terms of where it is on the map.
Yeah.
And payment for the spider silk, if you go to get it, is paid in years or dreams. Which I thought that was pretty bad. That's magic. That's magic right there. The merchant is a middle-aged man, has really midnight blue eyes. That I picked up right away. So, as she's talking to this merchant, she has seen spider silk before. Apparently, there is the finest madame in, Riftold. So she's like, it seems like she's the Arabian of, like, the courtesans. Mm-hmm. Apparently, she had, like, a wealthy client who gave her, like, a handkerchief of spider silk, and I was like, wow,
that's insane.
It's like someone giving something in jewels, and I'm like, this is, like, not good in jewels. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So she asks, like, you have so much of it, did you go get this yourself? And he goes, yes, I did. The fact that he says, you don't find them, they find you, is, like, so ominous.
Yeah.
Ominous. Jesus Christ.
Ominous. No, I get it. It is anonymous, too. You know?
Girl, he's 25.
He looks like an old-ass man.
And he looks middle-aged. So he lost his years to the spider, which is crazy.
I love the fact that it's like, you lose, well, obviously it's not great to lose years of your life, but it's like, I do kind of find it intriguing that when you lose the years off of your life, it isn't like, oh, we just take them from the end of your life. It's like, no, you actually, like, get older immediately. Yeah. Like, that's what makes it come out as magic, rather than just, oh, well.
It's like the Supernatural episode, dude. The poker game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When I read this the first time, I was like, yo, that's what it is. Any of our any Supernatural friends out there, they know what that is. So I guess he's, like, here in Xandria until he goes down to the southern continent, which we mentioned. I will say, again, sorry, this is another fucking reference, but anytime someone says, like, something comes with a price, I imagine Rumpelstiltskin from Once Upon a Time. He goes, all magic comes with a price. Like, he does, like, the whole, like...
You got a little Rumpelstiltskin on your shoulder?
But he does that little flourish whenever he says it.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I imagine, like, what this is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, this merchant, we never get his name, by the way. It's never mentioned.
Sus.
He went to an old witch, funny enough that we're bringing up witches in this episode. The old witch told him that only the death of the spider that took the years could give him them back.
Mm.
So basically, she said that the greatest warrior in the land is the only one that can slay them. So he goes, hey, do you want to kill it for me? And I'm like, first of all, I'm just, how vague? Like, how many fucking Stygian spiders do I have to get? Like, they probably all look the same. So the fact that the merchant guy mentions that there's a traitor afoot, and then she only realizes that later, She's like, yeah, there's some deals going on between the Silent Assassin. It's like, no, there's not. It's like, no, I'm not gonna mention it. Basically, she says, okay, if whenever you're back in Riptold, talk to Arabian Hamel, he'll know where to find me. I'm not giving you my name. So he gives her a piece of spider silk, which I thought was badass. It's kind of like a first payment. But it's super small. She said it was like 6 inches or something like that. Mm-hmm. Like a 6-inch square.
Is that like 6 inches on each side?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's a square, so it's equal sides. Mm. I know what 6 inches are.
Yeah, what do you think they are?
Kind of like that.
You're just like...
Well, I'm trying to, like, eyeball it by, like, audience members. I struggle with inches.
It's like those videos of, like, people, like, construction workers of, like, pull out what you think 6 inches is, and they're like...
Nah, I'd fail. I'd fucking fail at that.
Me too.
So, Ansel finally returns, but then she's, like, super sus, and then she's like, why are you all nervous? And then they sneak into the palace walls, back to where she originally was, and then they sneak into the stables. Now, I will say, this was badass, though. Even though what they did was, like, okay, just fucking reckless. Asterian horses. Now, not only are these the most ancient breed of horses, but the Fae made them. We're getting so many hints of, like, other races in this, like, this episode that just makes me super happy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, any horse that the Fae made, I think, is gonna be just way better than any other horse. Mm-hmm. Hisley and Casita are their names. And then, yeah, let's steal them. Love it. Go for it.
Why not?
Fun. She's like, well, why don't we?
Have some fun.
I mean, at this point, it's kind of like, okay, when you're away on holiday or, like, on vacation, and it's like, I'm never probably going to see these people again, fuck it, why not? Mm-hmm. It's sometimes a fun mentality to have. That's all I'm saying. I'll never see these people again. Who cares? When they said the guards were so off guard, I was like, yeah, because who would have thought? So, Selena's doing her best to keep up. I guess this takes less time to get back, like, but I think I should have known there was, like, another purpose. Because, again, there's so many fucking subtle hints of, like, Ansel going rogue that she's like, it's just gonna be, like, why would you immediately go into a meeting with some guy and then, like, steal from him? Doesn't seem like the best course of action.
Unless it was, like, planned. Or the meeting didn't go well and she was covering that.
And since Liesl loves this quote so much, I'll read it to you.
Yay.
She says, she's like, live a little, Sardathian. Of all the girls in all the world, here she was on a spit of beach in the red desert, astride an Asterian horse racing faster than the wind. Most would never experience this. She would never experience anything like this again. And for one heartbeat, when there was nothing more to it than that, she tasted bliss so complete that she tipped her head back to the sky and laughed.
First time we're seeing her really laugh.
I honestly, took the words out of my mouth. Yes, I think the fact that she's like, because they're also riding past the Gulf of Oro too, so they're seeing the ocean too. Mm-hmm. There's been so many moments, and especially when we went on our journey, and just moments, I think in general, and I think most people can relate to at least feeling a moment like this where they're like, yeah, I'm never gonna see this thing again with the people that I'm with. And it's like having that like hard realization, but having that like beautiful moment where you just have a smile light up your face is like so awesome.
It makes you feel like you have to be like present in this moment.
Yeah. Our first night when we saw the big moon crest over the mountain, that was probably like, there were multiple moments on that trip, but I think that was one where we were both like, yeah.
When we were looking down over the valley, you could see the city lights. Mm-hmm. Teaching you how to roast hot dogs over a campfire.
Because I've never done it.
You know, the important things.
Even I've been to camp before, and I was like, I just never partook.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good, even for young people, it's like, live life, dude. Like, we only have your youth once, and I'm not saying that we're old and decrepit, we're still in our 20s, but like, I'm saying this as two single people. I'm trying to like, give our listeners a heart-to-heart. It's like, I'm not saying that when you get married and you have kids, your life's over. I'm kind of saying that, but not so. Like, you're going to have experiences with your family or with your husband or whatever, but it's like, there's a beauty of being with your friends or being by yourself and experiencing something when you're young that just, you don't get if you grow up too quickly. Mm-hmm. So, how people always said it to me when I was younger is like, don't force it. Don't think that you have to like get married at a certain point or like, because then your whole life's going to change. And it's going to be
even
different.
if you feel like you're falling behind. Like, everyone's getting married around you. Everyone is in a relationship. Like, that doesn't mean you're falling behind. You're just taking it at the pace that your path is supposed to go.
Yeah, and there's, like, hundreds of people who would probably kill to be, like, in our position of, like, being single and not having so many responsibilities. So it's, like, even young, and I'm talking about this with young people, too. Where, like, I feel like I was also about this, so they're talking about this with my dad the other night, where, like, when I was really, like, younger in high school, I wanted to have a job so bad. I was like, I want to have a job, I want to have experience, I want to be an adult, right? There's so many times even now where I'm like, I wish I had summer vacation. I wish that, like, I only had my studies and I just, I was living in my parents' house again and my dad cooked for me and laundry was done by like, there's a beauty to being young that, like, sometimes when you get out on your own, there's, like, a little bit of, like, God, I wish, like, I didn't rush past that so much.
Yeah. I think, like, where you wanted to be an adult so quickly, my version of that was I was just always scared of what came next. So I wasn't, like, in the present. So, like, I was scared to go to college. And then while I was in college, I was scared of being out of college. And then now that I'm out of college, I'm just like, I wish I had lived a little bit more in college,
Oh, yeah. Like, there's so many.
I mean, college was pretty fun for the most part, but, I could have done a lot more. I never went abroad while I was in college. I never went on any, like, college trips with friends, it felt like, so.
I think also not getting, like, too stuck up in the past of regret, like, though, is, like, that there are moments where you can do things now, like.
Yeah, it's like, just because I didn't do it back then doesn't mean I can't do it now.
Yeah, but I think, more what I was saying was, like, this moment of bliss as a young person is, like, really important to cherish. So, now we depressed ourselves.
Let's talk about
the desert cleaver, I went, oh no.
Oh no.
I hear that name and I'm like, yeah, that sounds bad.
It's like their version of the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, basically just an enormous fissure, and I'm like, my first question was, what made that? I was like, did a beast make that, or was that, like, some, like, continental bullshit?
Yeah, what made that?
Yeah, I had, like, a huge question about that, because, like, again, I'm thinking, like, AKILA, right? I'm thinking about, like, what made certain, like, monuments, or certain, like,
because when, like, instead of, like, being called a canyon, like, desert canyon, which obviously doesn't have a great name, when something is called a cleaver, like, that usually has something to do with how it was made.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, was it, like, some big monster or something?
Or some, like, big weapon?
Yeah.
Or magic, like maybe a magic spell that cleaves the earth.
True. Or I was thinking maybe, like, tectonic plates. I was thinking more, like, practical, too.
Yeah. Flash flood.
So, Celaena finally understands that, like, Ansel planned this the whole time, kind of thing, to do something like this. So, they basically have to jump 30 feet across the cleaver to get away from the guards, because they're, like, on their tail. They're shooting arrows at them, whatever.
Literally going full stallion stallion of the Cimarron. There, right, with that final jump.
Their stallions are, like, so much faster than theirs.
Yeah. Hey, don't discredit Spirit.
No. I'm saying, like, I'm talking that their horses are faster than the guards' horses.
Yes. Yeah.
Just because they're, like, magic. They're magic horses, basically.
They're magicking horses.
The fact, though, that, like, again, Celaena, even as a young teenager, is like, I wish Sam were here. I'm like, bro. So
Sam would look so pretty on a horse.
True. Right. I mean, that's how it feels, right? They both make it, but something that I want to say about how Celaena describes Ansel of just not feeling any sort of hesitation. It's like, there's an admiring factor to that she's just so carefree and so, like, kind of, like, no fear. Because it's like, she thought she was kind of like that, but then she met Ansel and was like, no, this bitch is wild.
This bitch is crazy.
Yeah, more so than I am.
Yeah.
That would take some years off me, jumping that, not knowing if, like, I was gonna make it or not. So, obviously, at that point, they make it across, the guards can't get them, and then, they describe the world as blood red, because, like, the setting sun, whatever. The fact that Celaena just punches Ansel in the face after, like, getting off the horse, I was like, yeah, that's some assassin woman bullshit.
Yeah, it's like, you bitch.
Like, fuck you for doing that to me, but also, like, thanks.
Like,
it's kind
that
of
was
like a
fun
punch,
and I needed it, but you're a fucking bitch.
a punch and then, like, help him up.
Yeah.
But Ansel only laughed. Like, she didn't even, like, get mad.
Mm-hmm.
So that night, they're staring up the stars, different constellations. Apparently, they have, like, different names, which is kind of similar to our modern society. Sometimes different cultures have different names for constellations.
Yeah.
Celaena's showing her, like, the dragon, the da-da-da, and then she goes, which side's that one? And she goes, the Lord of the North, the staff. Which, they brought that up in the first book.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is, like, the first time she's actually explaining it, like, out loud to someone. Mm-hmm. She's like, the only difference between this constellation and the others is that it's there every season, and it's there so that the people of Terrasen will always know how to find their way home.
It's like the North Star, their version of the North.
Right, and then Ansel's like, so do you want to go back there? And she's like, how do you know I'm from Terra? And I'm like, girl.
You're not exactly hiding it. I mean, it's subtle, but like...
Yeah, she's like, yeah, girl, we know.
Also, the way you talk about it, of like, oh, the Lord of the North, so you can always find your way home. And it's like, of course she's going to guess it from that.
I mean, this is what makes Ansel open up, because she feels like the deep feelings that Celaena is, like, without saying anything. She's like, she can feel it, and so that's why I feel like makes her open up about her homeland. She's like, you know, I actually didn't tell you guys the truth, and no one at the guild or at the assassins knows. My father didn't send me here. My father is dead, and my sister is dead. And, dude, I felt so bad after that.
Yeah.
She goes into a story and says that this man named Lord Locke took all of her father's territory, and when they came to take over her castle, Briarcliff, she hid in the kitchen while she watched her sister and father get murdered. And the thing is that they held the father back, split the sister's throat first, and then made her dad watch, and then her dad was killed. While everyone else in the castle was also. I mean, it just made me have a lot more sympathy for Ansel, just because of the fact that she does seem super cheery for someone that had, like, such a horrible thing happen to her. To figure out it's kind of all an act, though, kind of makes it, like, more shady, but, because, like, I mean, that's what I tell you all the time about, you know, taking a situation and, like, you know, being better than before, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So when everyone was dead, she took her father's sword and ran into the White Fang Mountains, which we've heard is not a great place. So basically, she made her way here through kind of like the hard way. Because, like, Celaena at first was mentioning to go through the White Fang Mountains to get through the jungle to get to here. So it's like, that is seemingly the way she went. Which kind of gives me more respect to her, because the fact that she went through a fucking jungle to get down here.
Yeah.
Shows she has a lot
but
more.
Her father's sword.
Yeah, and survival skills. I was like, yeah, I can fuck with that.
Yeah.
She actually got saved at a camp with an Iron Teeth witch. Yo, that's crazy. To her mentioning that she met an Iron Teeth witch, because that was the thing. In her story, she said she met one, but in the story, she never saw it. So I was thinking, oh, when did you meet one then? Because you didn't say that you know. Right. It was this that she's talking about. She said, your fate is not to die here, and she, like, helps her, actually. So again, even though she made that claim about wanting to kill all the witches, this witch, like, literally saved her life and told her to go to the Silent Assassins. Basically, her hidden agenda is that she wants to retake what belongs to her, which, I mean, I could see that. She wants to retake what those people took from her. And it was this quote at the end that I really, really loved, was the fact that she goes, where do men find it in themselves to do such monstrous things? How do they find it acceptable? And Celaena says, we'll make them pay for it in the end. We'll see to it that they pay.
All men must die.
Yeah, but we are not men.
How do you say it in Hungarian?
Vala Mogules.
Fancy.
I like that was kind of like a kindling of their friendship, of just, like, them kind of making a pact that they would make the people who've done stuff. Because she's talking about Arabian here. Like, and I think this is the first time that she's just, like, she's saying it out loud to somebody about wanting to make him suffer for what he's done. Because up until now, she's just saying, oh, he did this to me, but now it's like, no, I want to get back at him.
Acknowledging the fact that he's even done stuff to her.
Yes, it's progress.
Rather than calling it training.
Yes, a lot of good progress. So they finally make it back to the keep, the fortress. Yeah, they're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's like, it totally made me think of Harry Potter in McGonagall's office.
Yeah.
They go to the meeting chamber, and as the master is looking at them, and while Ansel's trying to explain what happened, she remembers what Sam said to her all those months ago. He goes, "I'll kill you."
Mm-hmm.
Wild for Sam to say that to him.
Yeah.
I mean, Sam doesn't give a fuck.
No.
Ansel's like
Not
cool, but she's also like a pretty bad influence.
Yeah, I'd say so.
There seems to be a bitterness in Ansel's voice as she notices that when she kind of talks to the Mute Master about not wanting to train her yet, which definitely means she's not deserving of it.
Right. It's like, there's probably a reason he hasn't agreed to train you yet.
The fact that when, like, the Mute Master put up her head, like, tilted her head up, she thought she was waiting for, like, a blow. He got so sad.
That's when he's like, oh, sweetheart, kind of
like,
vibe.
No, that's not what I was gonna, no, that wasn't what I was gonna do. He wanted to, like, look at her to see if it was true. And then, I like what she does here, because, again, it's kind of like falling on the sword, but, like, Ansel has a purpose. She has a higher calling to life. She has something that she wants to do. A purpose. I can't take that away from her, so, like, I mean, she doesn't even have to do this, but she takes the blame for it. She says, hey, I did it. It was my fault. Their punishment is stable duty, because it's like, oh, if you like horses so much, you get to clean the stables.
Yeah. Which I do like that punishment related to the crime.
Yeah, it's like you stole the horses, but now we gotta keep them here, so now you gotta take care of them.
Yeah.
Wow, I was thinking, wow, what an easy punishment compared to a fucking beating, but...
Yeah.
Dude, the master stopping her before he leaves and doing a bunch of, like, sign language to Ansel and her getting upset.
Yeah, Ansel has to translate. I feel like that was Ansel's punishment, because the master must know that it was her.
Yeah, it's like, so I guess you gotta train with him tomorrow night. So it's like, it's the fact that she stood up for her that made the impression on him. So they don't have to run anymore, which I thought was actually, like, not the punishment. Like, okay, would you rather clean the stalls or run? I feel like I'd clean the stalls 100%.
Yeah. But it's almost like, oh, you can't run, so therefore you can't get stronger.
Yeah, but dude, they have to clean out all the stalls, not just the horse stalls.
Yeah, so don't work on the legs, work on the arms, lifting all that manure.
I don't know, they have, like, cloths that you could put on your face. I feel like I've done enough trash duty in, like, my real life that I'm like, I don't know. I don't feel like that would really bother me. I don't really get sick by smells that often.
Only sometimes.
And if it's bad, yeah.
Yeah.
Or especially if I'm on my period, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Because it's more sensitive.
Fuck the period.
Yeah. The fact that she hasn't mentioned it yet, I'm waiting for her to mention it.
She just turned 17.
She always does. I mean, she should have her period at this point. So I love how when she goes to do, like, the first lesson, Ilias has to, be like, hey, he's on the roof. And she's like, well, yeah, why didn't he he doesn't tell me anything, but...
why didn't he tell me himself? Oh, right.
She found the master on a parapet on the roof, and it's like a really small roof, looking off at the desert. Girl, when I saw a basket up there, I went, anytime there's a basket in the desert, that's a snake in there.
Snake.
I knew it 100%.
Yes, I definitely, I got that one too. It's like, oh, that's gonna be a snake.
And so, now this is where the legit Karate Kid shit happens, is like, so a black ass pops out of it, right? And they're poisonous, because they're basically like what a rattlesnake would be.
Yeah.
And he's basically like, observe it, do the moves and stuff. And so, then, like, the coming weeks are just, she's learning from animals, like bats, jackrabbits, snakes, whatever, to learn, like, speed, dexterity, stealth. Which is like, yeah, that's totally like a Karate Kid binge. I could, like, see the montage in my brain.
Definitely, a montage moment.
She also starts to see Ansel less and less, because she's working with him more. But Ansel starts to get more and more cheery, which should have been the sign. Because people will, like, I honestly get why some people think I'm fake, because of, like, this shit. Is that people will hide, like, their true intentions by, like, being nice and cheery, when they're actually, like, terrible human beings.
Yeah.
So I, like, get why someone, like, being nice to you wouldn't necessarily be, like, especially if you...
I will vouch for you to anyone. She is cheery because that's literally how she is, and she cannot be any different.
Yeah, no.
Not because she's a bad person. It's not because she's plotting a siege on the tower.
Are planning to decapitate an old man.
Right.
But I'm not cheery all the time. That's the thing.
No.
Like, I'm definitely not cheery all the time.
No, definitely not. That's when it gets fake, is if you're cheery all the time.
Well, yeah, because you're not...
Because humans are not meant to be cheery all the time. Humans have a wide range of emotions.
That's why I never stood Amity, dude. Like...
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, how could you be peaceful forever? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be nice and cheery and peaceful all the time.
No, they have fights behind closed doors.
That's crazy. You're like, fuck Amity. So, I mean, but they're still friendly, right? So then, like, the next time they see each other, Selena's so they have stall duty in the morning together, so that's when they talk to each other. Mm-hmm. And she tells Ansel about, like, what she's learning, so she's at least telling her. Ansel doesn't seem to get it, which is probably the first sign that she shouldn't be doing it, because she doesn't get why he's training her like this.
Yeah. She's like, where's all the sword fighting and stuff?
Right. It's like, you're not really learning anything from that. And it's like, nope, listen to Mr. Miyagi, dude. Listen to hipster Jesus.
Listen to hipster dad Jesus.
So she's putting, like, makeup on Ansel, which, like, is almost kind of seeming like she's never put makeup, because she was probably too young to, like, get the whole, like, older sister makeup treatment. Mm-hmm. So it's Ansel's birthday and also Midsummer's Eve, which I actually, if someone in the comments, I don't know what that holiday is. Like, I didn't look it up beforehand, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's
I'm blanking on it, actually. I think we looked it up when we had our book talk about it.
Did we?
I feel like we did. Are you looking it up now?
I mean, I'm just like, I feel like I'm turning more into you, because now I'm actually, like, dead ass. An ancient festival celebrating the summer solstice, the longest dated. Oh, so it's just another way to say the summer solstice.
So her birthday's on the summer solstice.
It's probably like a different, like, it's just in a different culture. It's said differently. I actually like that. So it's not just, like, keeping with the tradition of saying the summer solstice, which is just, like, every fucking SJM holiday.
Her birthday's on the summer solstice. That's fun.
And Bear's was on the winter solstice.
Yeah, SJM.
What's cool about this is that it's, like, Ansel's, like, one of her first, like, girl besties. Mm-hmm. So she hasn't really been around any women. Mm-hmm. And anyone can contest, like, it's fine having guy friends, but there's something about, like, a good sister dynamic that you just can't, like, get around. Mm-hmm. I mean, she's been there for almost a month. Like, dude, a lot can happen in a month.
Yeah.
Okay, don't hate me. Originally, when I first read this book, I hated the fact that there was no music at this dance, because my tism comes out by silence, and the fact that there was no music and only, like, the sound of feet and breathing. Oh, that would trigger my senses hard.
The breathing, for sure.
I don't like to hear that. Like, hear, like, the other people's, like, breathing and just, like, kind of, like, this no silence.
I feel like it's the fact of, like, I mean, that's why I would struggle with, like, a silent disco. I mean, obviously with, like, silent disco, you have your headphones on and you're hearing music, but, like, I don't know, the moving kind of thing. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it would actually bother me, because it makes me think of, like K-pop choreo, when you just hear all of their footsteps in time. I think what would bother me is the footsteps not being in time.
Oh, you know they're not gonna all be in time, dude.
But, like, in terms of the breathing, I've learned that, like, I don't actually mind that. Like, silence used to freak the fuck out of me, because it would be like, I would just feel like I need to fill the silence. You know, silence always came with negative emotions to me. Like, if there was silence when I was with someone, that would usually mean that they're upset in some way or another, or I've done something bad. But then I learned to, like, just start, like, smiling and laughing, because smiling usually was like, oh, well, if I just smile, they won't be mad at me. But then when I came to Earlham and started, like, went to the occasional, what did they call them, like the Quaker meetings?
Yeah.
And there were just, in general at Earlham, with the moments of silence, moments of stillness, like that we did in choir, it was like, it taught me that, oh, it's okay to be silent for a second. Like, I don't need space.
I don't think, like, for a moment is fine, but, like, the whole fucking night?
Yeah, for hours?
No. Like, I'd freak out. I'd be done.
Yeah.
Like, I'd dance with the hot guy and then leave.
You'll be silent with the hot guy? The thing is, if you dance with the hot guy, like, you would
be silent.
You would not be silent. You would start talking to him, Or if he like trying to keep you quiet, then you would just start making out on the dance floor.
Make out with the Mute Master's son in front of him.
I mean, he can't say anything about it.
What a fucking power move. He just starts like signing angrily or whatever the hell you were saying earlier.
It's like, I can't see you.
The dancing into the moonlight aspect was fun. Like, I mean, that's pretty. But I was just telling you, because, like, that's how my tism works, is that, like, that...
For sure.
Like, sometimes people have, like, where, like, a lot of noises freaks them out, versus I, like, don't really get freaked out by that. Versus, like, this, that would freak me out hard. I love how, like, she wanted to, like, skip the party to train, and then the master was like, no, I want to go to the party, so you gotta go to the party.
Yeah.
And I love, like, again, it's like the old Jesus man having, like, fun on the dance floor versus, like, Arabian is, like, it's such a contrast, and I really love it.
If you dead Jesus is totally putting it down.
Like, now you're actually, like, making me think of him on the dance floor, yeah.
I'd love to be dead Jesus.
Because every time she does, like, have, like, a happy moment, she thinks, like, what did Arabian do to Sam? Like, because then she even says that she purchased her own apartment. So after everything went down in the few couple days before she was sentenced to go out here, she bought an apartment, is planning to move out. But the thing is, and again, this is something like further in like this book, not just like this Assassin in the Desert, but just the whole novella will be more mentioned. So we'll talk about that more later. But she still owes him money. Like, there's still a debt to him to be paid, but there's no rule that says you have to live at the Assassin's Keep. You just have to be, like, in the area, right?
Right.
The fact that she, in her mind, goes, if Arabian hits Sam or I again, he'll lose that hand, or he'll lose his arm.
It's such big progress. I'm so proud of her.
It's such a quick shift. Again, like, I know we said that in the first episode, but it's like, that was the trigger for her to realize that, again, it's everybody's, and whenever you're in a toxic relationship or just full-blown, like, abuse, right? It's finally realizing, look at all these normal people. I'm in hell. Like, this could be me, but I'm, like, in this situation. I gotta get out, right?
Seeing people who are actually normal is so hard.
Then you realize it, and then there's, like, a moment of, like, doubt of, like, how the hell have I let this go on for this long, right? Dude, the fact that Ilias wanted to dance with her, I was like, you dance with that man, okay?
You do it.
Holy crap. I was like, dude, my notes. I go, she has, like, a moment where she's like, oh, I guess he wasn't just thinking about me. I said, yeah, you dumb bitch. I was like,
It may have started that way, but then he continued, and also, like, you know, they had the moment of, like, he was teaching her a little bit of sign language.
Oh, right. Like, he's looking at you because you are attractive. Okay. You to me.
He will dance with you.
Oh, she's like, oh, did I just, like, walk into a dream, basically?
You.
Yes. Very. So she does leave, but then he follows her. Now, big reveal. We find out she's never been kissed. To be fair, at 17, I hadn't been kissed yet. The strip kiss the bottle didn't count as kisses. I'm talking like a romantic kiss for the first time. I was kissed when I was 14.
Peck? Like peck or like
that was a peck. Yes. I mean, not a make-out, but just like a kiss that lasted longer than like a Mississippi. You know what I mean? Like, the other ones were just kind of like, almost like, kind of like a, not like elongated. And it doesn't even have to have tongue, but just, yeah, that's more than one goddamn second, yeah.
It's longer than a Mississippi.
Yeah, like, I'm just saying. So, the fact that she feels, like, very, about that, again, in her era, yeah, no, she's missing out. This actually makes sense, though. She's around a bunch of old fucks all the time, and, like, Sam is, like, her only, like, plus that Archer kid or whoever she mentioned earlier. Like, a young person around her that's her age, and Arabian pitted her against Sam, so she never saw him in that way.
Yeah, for that reason.
I would not have restraint kissing this dude, girl. The fact that he, like, pulls her by the waist and then puts his hand in her, like, I'm like, he's experienced, okay? Like, no guy who's just like, look, I've kissed a couple guys who had no idea where to put their hands. If a guy knows where to put both hand one and hand two, already swooned.
Alright, so for our listeners, where do you put hand one?
Hand one goes on the waist. It could go on the shoulder as a backup, but normally you put it around the waist.
And hand two?
Hand two either goes into the hair or, like, the cheek. Kind of, like, caressing.
Like cupping the face?
Yes, cupping the face. Normally, I like the whole behind the head thing.
Lifting the chin?
Yeah. There's a couple options, but they're, like, in the same area, alright?
So for you eager kissers out there.
But we love a good consent king. Because he was like, when she kind of pulled away, he's like, oh, like, again, he's not talking.
Right.
And he's like...
See, consent can happen without talking.
Hey, that's a good thing you brought that up, dude.
Yeah.
I will say, the babbling, though, afterwards, I feel attacked.
You should just feel attacked by everything that she does in this book.
She's like, yeah, so there's...
It's like, shh.
I love how he just walks by. He's like, the translation was, can you blame a guy for trying? It's like, you know what? Fair, babe.
I'm sorry, I can't kiss your handsome man because I have someone back home that has my heart.
She wants to kiss Sam first. And I could kind of get that. Like, again, we can obviously translate that into, like, wanting to sleep with someone for the first time, like that, but, like,
right.
It's, I guess, this more in this high school way of thinking, the PG version. It's like, no, I want Sam to be the person I kiss. And also, like, I want him, right? So, Ansel does not show up that night. She comes in the clothes the night before that is equal to they banged, had sex, whatever, did the tango. did the tango with no clothes. What?
They banged, they had sex, they did the tango.
With no clothes. Her sudden shift was pretty shocking. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I go, whoa, where the fuck is this? Because it's almost like a normal day, and then all of a sudden there's just this forced fight.
Yeah.
And she gets on a high horse, like, yeah, well, the thing is, she's not wrong, what she's saying here. Because basically, you know, I mean, Selena's not making fun of her, but she's just like, yeah, what were you guys doing, you know? And then Ansel goes on a rampage. She just goes like, yeah, well, the double standard of men, like, they're gonna praise him, but they're gonna, you know, make fun of me. And think of me less. Girl, you're not wrong. I didn't say anything. Why are you getting on this, like, feminist trip when, like, I was just saying, hey, where were you last night?
You know, as friendly concern.
Yeah, no, that was, like, crazy. I was like, yeah, this seems like a forced fight for no reason. But then the fact that she just goes, oh, yeah, I was just using him. Like, cause she goes, oh, do you like him? She goes, nah. No, because it feels sad, because it's like, oh yeah, well, he gives me extra attention, and he's close to the mute master. Like, yo, you're just like putting all your shit out there. Why is this happening? Yeah. Now I don't agree with what Selena says back to her, but again, like, people say things in anger, right? I kind of get though where Selena's coming from. Like, okay, I'm just gonna get back at you for just bitching at me for no reason when I didn't do anything to you. Yeah. But she goes, dude, because, okay, I'm getting ahead. Ansel kind of gets uppity about that, you know, the jealousy of her being able to be with the mute master. It's like, well, how would a beautiful girl like you ever know, like, my struggles? Like
are you saying you're not beautiful?
Right. I think it's because she's blonde. I really think that's what it is. I mean, dude, there's that prejudice with guys. That used to be such a big thing. Like, guys only like blondes. Like, blonde girls were hot. Right. Now it's the brunettes. Holla.
Right. Where's our men?
I know. I say that, but where's the show for it? Yeah. Basically, Selena's like, oh yeah, well, you know, I'm somebody, like, who the fuck? Nobody will care if you even take your kingdom back. No one's gonna know.
Right. No one's out there to care.
I'm not saying that's not wrong. Like, I mean, in the sense of, like, why would the people of Otterlin and their empire care about something that's happening in, like, an area away from them? Yeah. Was it okay for her to say that nobody cares if she'll take back her homeland? No, but again, just two young girls having a fight. I mean,
like, okay, I said one hurtful thing, now you're feeling hurt, so you're gonna say a hurtful thing back. It's like classic arguing, bickering.
But then she goes, you're a spoiled, selfish bitch. Ooh. Wasn't expecting that.
Ouch.
But the thing is, what's sad is that Selena's like, she's not wrong.
Yeah.
And I think that's the piece of growth that I think we all wanted to see from her. Is that
she's finally like, oh yeah, I am a selfish bitch.
She is those things, but she's also not. Like, I don't feel like a spoiled, selfish bitch would save a bunch of slaves.
It's a part of her, and the part that she wears most often.
Yeah, I think her, like, spoiled self is more the fact that she comes from such, like, a good, gets everything she wants from Arabian and doesn't have to, like... But again, is she paying that price with the beating, though? Like, I mean, again, it's kind of the saying of... I mean, I'm not saying that she should get beat to get money. I think it's more like, Ansel's not seeing the whole picture here. Like, yeah, am I rich? But I'm getting beat up by my master, and also I'm getting, like, forced into, like, this bad predicament. You're not seeing it as, like, the whole picture. So then later, so she does leave, like, so that she has to force to clean all the stall out, which, bitch, whatever.
Yeah.
But she can't focus on the lesson, so the mute master notices and just, like, sits by her on the parapet.
Ah, dad talk.
But then they don't say anything. Or, like,
no.
It's like a long, like, place of silence.
It says everything.
Yes. Of figuring out what to say. But it's like, I think that's where I agree with you. On the silence being okay. Because you can kind of think about what you're going to say instead of just saying what comes to your mind. Because, like, the reason that she's upset is the fact that she's not, like, upset. I mean, she is upset about the fight, but it's more so, like, she's scared to go back home. So, like, when I go back, I'm different. My morals are different. I have changed. And the dynamic has shifted. Everything's going to be different when I go back. And I'm scared of what that means. And so that's a very opening, can of worms there. Like, does she even want to be in the Assassin's Guild anymore? Like, how does she get out of it? It's like, well, I want to get out of it, but I'm also indebted, so how the hell am I going to get out of it? So the master, again, has made her observe the animals, right? But he hasn't actually, like, gotten up and done anything. But he kind of, like, starts doing movements in a dance sort of way, similar to how the act was. And then they train that way for the rest, or what did they say, until the morning?
Yeah.
So Selena sneaks out in the room, and she says, fuck you, and abandons Ansel to do the cleaning that morning. I was a little surprised when she came back that Ansel woke her up and apologized. I actually was, like, pretty happy about that at first. I was like, oh, it shows, like, okay, you guys are still friends, but, some things were said, and, that we didn't mean, just kind of spoken out of anger. And the fact that she's like, you're, like, my first real friend here. Like, I have plenty of friends here, but not like you.
Right.
And then immediately betrays her.
Like, I'm sorry. Psych.
Or just like, I hope you think of me fondly, and then she's unconscious. I'm like, yo, never fucking trust the wine, dude.
No.
Never trust the wine after a fight.
No. I mean, that's literally, like, what we learned in Coco. Like,
I never saw it.
Wow.
I never saw Coco, bro.
There was basically, like, a scene where, like, it was like a flashback / in a movie. Basically, it's a musical duo who are, like, on the road performing together, and then one of them decides, oh, I want to go home to my family instead of continuing to perform. And that guy is the one who, like, wrote all of the songs they perform. And so, like, they have this conflict, the two guys. And then the one guy was like, oh, well, I could never hate you. Here, have a drink.
No, never.
Ends up killing the guy who wrote the songs.
They
killed the guy, took his music. Well, Coco's about, like, the Day of the Dead, and they're all skeletons anyway. But yes, they did do that.
Okay. I mean, like, Disney Pixar, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of newer Disney movies which I haven't seen, so.
Yeah. But yeah, you never trust the wine after a fight.
I do say going forward, though, like, I appreciate how, like, in a weird way, she doesn't immediately think that Ansel did something wrong. Like, I think we're both on edge. Like, no, something's definitely wrong. Like, I don't immediately, you had to drug me, I'm immediately suspicious. So she wakes up, Casita, the horse, is there, and her bag is there, but her sword's not there.
Yeah.
She pulls out a note from Ansel that says, hey, the Mute Master's letter of approval is in here. He didn't want you to let you go, like, kind of unceremoniously, but this is the way it had to be. Like, I'm gonna miss you, da-da-da.
It's like, what do you mean, why? Like, why would it not be ceremonious,
So she thinks that this was, like, because the Mute Master has, given Ansel this stuff before, right? Thinks that, responsibility, right? Thinks that this is coming from him. Which is so unbelievable to think since she was just with him the night before.
Yeah.
So she sees the sealed leather, but then doesn't want to break it because if she breaks it, then it's kind of null and void.
Yeah. Because that was what Airman said of, like, he'll know if it's tampered with.
Right. The self-doubt creeps in, so I think that's why she doesn't immediately go back. She's like, well, everyone loved Ansel, but I think everyone just tolerates me. I will say it's sad, though, because, like, in her monologue as she's, going on Casita back, she's like, I felt like I actually belonged somewhere for once.
Mm-hmm.
And it was sad, because I felt that a lot, especially in college. Because I didn't really feel like I had a place in high school versus like college seemed like a place where I belonged. Mm-hmm. And it was sad to leave it, sort of thing. She starts to write back to Xandria because she wants to find the boat back to Rifthold. Mm-hmm. But she hears a bunch of like thundering hooves, thumps, footsteps. And she crests like a dune and she sees like 200 men from Lord Barrick's area. And the thing is that before, they didn't send that many people.
No.
So the fact that they're sending 200 against their 70 is very, one is outmatched.
Yeah.
At first she thinks the master sent her away because he knew something was going to happen and so he didn't want her to get hurt. Mm-hmm. But then I think she figures this out later, but then why would he send her away if like you need everybody? Mm-hmm. Because at first she's like, oh, they just think that they don't need me. Fuck them, I don't care. Very much kid response, right?
Yeah.
So then she's in Xandria the next morning. It's very quiet. She does bring up the fact that she wanted to find a port to go back to Inish to see the healer girl, but could only find one to Melisande. But as she's kind of like sitting there, she starts to worry about them. Very much the saying of like when you start second guessing a decision, it's like, why would they let me go if they needed all arms, right? Like, it doesn't really make much sense.
You're left with your thoughts for long enough. It's like, wait a minute, this isn't actually connecting.
Right. And then she goes, what has gone wrong that this happened? It's like, what happened a week ago? Ansel came to see Lord Barrick. She opens up the letter and it's fucking blank.
Yeah.
If Ansel actually really cared, bro,
she could have at least tried to write it.
Imagine her going all the way back to Rifthold and then opening it up and then it's blank. And it's like, Ansel!
Right.
Ansel being the traitor, even though it was set up so... I feel dumb as fuck. When I read this the first time, it's like, Ansel, the sweet country girl.
Never trust a country girl, right?
No, right. You can't trust them. Not one that's happy all the time, no. And then has outbursts like that.
People think you're a country girl and you're happy all the time, so what does this...
Don't trust me.
Yeah. Well, I must be stupid then, because I trust you.
It's okay. People can think what they want. I know my truth. Yo, dude, I also felt super dumb about the fact that, like, the wedding ring she brought up earlier wasn't the fact that it was a wedding ring. It was his signet ring that he lost. Mm-hmm. And I go, yo, fuck. Ah.
Yeah.
Dude, Ansel did the same thing that she did to Rolf.
And it was like, in a way, it was foreshadowed in that way, but we didn't see it.
Well, because it wasn't like on her, it was like on, he has a kid, maybe he was married, blah, blah, blah. It makes sense. Holy fuck. She was making plans with Barrick, and then so she starts to run back, and then she goes, one warrior might not make a difference against 200 men, but she was Selena Sardathian that had to count for something.
Yeah.
I get like
That's powerful.
I think when her arrogance comes out, it's kind of an eye roll. But then, like in these moments of like lifting up after self doubt, it's like, yeah, bitch, you go. Like I'm happy about that.
Ride like the wind.
So yeah, no, she books it on Casita in the desert once more.
Yeah.
So she's like flying over the dunes. Only stops to get water. The walls are breached. But like the assassins haven't like given up yet. They're still fighting. Mm-hmm. And so Selena notices someone let them in. So it's like every level of Ansel's betrayal just, I think, gets worse and worse.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're friends with someone even for a short amount of time, but you see each other day in and day out, and it's like, I never thought this person was capable of this.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a disbelief of like, even though like you should just believe they did one thing, that doesn't mean they can't do another, right? There is that unbelievable factor.
I was like, they did this, so they can't possibly do more. Oh shit, they did more.
Mm-hmm. And it's just one thing after another. So she picks up a sword off like a dead soldier, goes in, pulls out the 2 long daggers too, and I was like, hell yeah. Every time I see them, I just think it's so cool.
Yeah.
I will say I would love to see this cinematically, because when she walks through and the sparkling rivers that were red because of how many like dead bodies are there, I was like,
yeah. Oof. They're very silent assassins now.
I mean, oh.
I'm sorry, that was bad.
Bad timing, bro.
Very bad timing.
That set up like a good picture, though. For me to be like, yeah, no, this is fucking serious.
Yes, created a good picture, a good image.
Again, just
needless killing.
So she makes her way towards the master's greeting room because she knows that, like, the whole purpose is to get the master's head, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Mikhail being dead with his throat slit made me so sad.
It's like, he was probably one of the first she killed.
Yep. But the fact that she killed him was the thing that hurt it. Oh, yeah. God.
She said her goodbyes the night before, had a good fuck. But, well, not the night before, but...
It's crazy that she slept with him and then, like, immediately betrays.
Yeah.
So Ilias is gravely injured, but he's not dead. He's got, like, a wound in his stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And we see the picture. Ansel has her sword raised up. The master is looking at Selena to be like, save my son. Just don't give a fuck about me. Save him. Which, good man.
Good father.
And as she goes to behead the master, Selena throws the dagger into Ansel's forearm.
Good aim.
Ow. I'm just thinking about that.
Go in between the two bones there,
So, the fact that she's seeing Ansel in this state is the thing that's horrifying, right? Because it's like, these people who you've been living with for 5 years, like, how could you do this to them?
Yeah.
And it goes to, like, this exchange of power, right? Selena tries to stop, like, I feel like she could have killed Ansel very easily. I mean, literally, she could have thrown the dagger at her throat, Like, she had the upper hand.
Right, or in the back or something.
I think this is the first time that Selena is fighting and is fighting against someone she knows. Like, everyone else have just been, like, bad people or, like, targets. People she doesn't know.
Yeah, she doesn't care.
But this is, like, the first person that she's across from that she has to have actually, like, thoughts about killing.
She actually has a friend. And now, like, she had a friend for a month, and then she's like, oh, well, now we're fighting. I don't want to fight you.
Dude, Ansel's monologue, well, Lord Barrick promised me his men in exchange to come to the Flatlands with me if I could gain the Master's trust and give him his head.
I doubt that would have actually worked out for you, Ansel.
Doesn't seem like Lord Barrick's the type to actually, like, go on his promises.
No.
I get the fact that she wants to get her homeland back, but it's like, look at how far she's gone for those means.
Mm-hmm.
She killed the guy who's been in love with her for 3 years. She's about to, like, kill the guy who, like, took her in. It just is, it's hard to see what power and, like, influence and, like, what hate does to people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she went through something very horrific and tragic, but she, like, let that hate guide her into something. It just turned her into something she didn't think. And again, he says that later, but that's what I was also thinking too when I read it.
Yeah.
When she threw a dagger at her and she missed, like, Selena doesn't miss.
No, that was purposeful.
It was a warning, dude.
Yeah.
When she said, I know what it feels like and this isn't the way. Again, the perfect foils in one another of, like, what someone did with grief and what someone else did with grief.
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, Selena's not super cheery and happy, but she's also not killing people for no reason. People that did nothing to her. Even if she, like, thinks that they've been complacent, like, what the hell do they have to do with the Flatlands? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The fact that she's telling Ansel that, like, you have a choice not to be. Like, I got forced into this life. You didn't. Like, you have a choice not to be this way. And when she tries to say, like, please, like, don't do this, and then she, like, Ansel closes her eyes and, opens them back up, and Selena looks at her and is like, this is not the person I've, like, been across with for the last month.
Mm-hmm.
You are a dog chained to your master, is what she says. Toil in service to men. So they fight, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And they're pretty, like, matched. I think Selena's a little surprised about how good she's fighting.
Because it's like Ansel was probably holding back.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think... I mean, they didn't really see each other fight.
Mm-mm. Other than that first time, but even then.
Ansel gives her the choice to say, we could conquer the Flatlands together if you join me. And it's like, I have Sam and Rifthold. Like, I have stuff back in Rifthold to deal with. Like, it's not like I want to go back to Arabian. but I have my own reasons for going back.
The, join me and we'll conquer together. It's us against the world kind of mindset is so not healthy. I mean, not only is it not healthy, but it's like you know that what you're doing is wrong, and you're just trying to convince the other person to come over to the dark side in the sorts.
I mean, perfect.
Just I know what I'm doing is wrong, but at least on a subconscious level, I know it's wrong. So, but come over so I'm not alone in doing it, so I can't take the full blame.
Perfect gaslighting manipulation. That's Definitely. What that is. Selena does give her a chance to leave before she fights, but that doesn't go well.
They keep giving each other so many chances of well, I don't want to fight you. It's just don't,
So, Ansel, they have their fight. Ansel cuts her face a little bit, and she's because again, first book, anyone who cuts her face is a dead man. Look at Ralph, dude. Look at what she did to Ralph and how nice she's treating Ansel, right now.
Yeah.
Ansel says that she tried to protect her by sending her away, and I totally agree with that. I think she really was thinking that was a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't want you to die here, so I'll give you what you need and go back. But it's you gave me a fucking blank piece of paper, bitch. What was that gonna do to me?
Yeah.
I love how there was a moment where they explain that she had they crossed their swords, but then Ansel just uses her other hand to punch the fuck out of Selena through the swords.
I mean, that's the one who knows how to use all opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, I commend her for her her fighting ability. I don't think she was expecting it.
Mm-hmm.
So Ansel gets the upper hand and puts a sword to her throat. And she is begging, she's I didn't want you to be a part of this. I'm, but you've given me no choice now.
Right.
So, of course, Selena, the perfect main character, gets her monologuing.
Of course.
She's no, dude, Ansel immediately goes, she's yeah, I killed him. What about it?
It's sad.
But it's because the fact that he found out what she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was the first to die.
Yeah. He probably came upon her while she was opening the gates.
And I think a crazy person is where she goes Ilias, he was just in the way. It's
oh, no.
So
that.
I didn't mention this before, but so the reason that she got the upper hand was the mute master got poisoned by the same thing that she did. And so he's just kind of paralyzed on the ground.
He had probably the bigger dose though.
Yes. And so, but he starts to have movement in his fingers, and he starts to kind of do the snake movements to kind of signal to her to strike like an ass, do it fast, whatever. Do what I've taught you. So yeah, she hits her in the shoulder to kind of get her off balance, between the armor, and she obviously gets the sword out of her hand, pins her to the ground. I think the way she pinned her was crazy, kind of like an executioner.
Yeah.
So she's on her back, and then she has Ansel's sword on her neck, just waiting.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do some dumb shit, or are you gonna be all right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a good quote here that I thought to mention, and I quote: "Even if she didn't put the sword through Ansel's neck, she still lose her. She'd already lost her. But maybe the world had lost Ansel long before today."
Yeah.
That was goddamn, that's a bar.
It's that's true.
Because it's yeah, I mean, she probably was lost since she got there. I mean, I can't say for sure, but it definitely was very close to when she got there. She already was seeking
the
revenge.
witch.
Yeah. She's no, your fate, the whole fate bullshit that she's trying to spew, your fate is down there, that's where you're gonna. Mm-hmm. But I think the witch was saying that your fate's gonna be decided, you're gonna the whole thing, you're deciding your own fate, right?
Yeah.
It's not happening upon you.
She just decided wrong.
But she does say that Ansel says this, it was real in moments.
Mm-hmm.
When she sent her away, it was real. When they were out in the desert together, it was real. Those moments where she did show her the truth, it was. So, of course, the assassins win. Selena actually shows mercy. I think this is the first time she's, actually, at least that we've seen, let someone live.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess she'll let Rolf live, but he's living in torment.
Yeah.
He's kind of living with, one dick cut off. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
His whole slave trade is gone, right? At least he's alive.
Did you say he's living with one dick cut off? How many dicks does this guy have?
Hey, you never know. He's the king of the pirates for a reason.
How many pirates have 2 dicks?
I'm just saying, ever since Tasneem introduced 2 dicks as being a thing, now my mind's blown. You're welcome. So back to all seriousness, she lets Ansel go, says she has 5 minutes to run from the fortress, and has 20 minutes before she fires an arrow straight at her, through her neck, if she doesn't make it far enough out of range.
Yeah.
So there is but it's mercy.
Yeah.
So much more than she deserves, right?
Yeah, should have killed her right there, kind of vibe.
Because, it's one of those things of, in that situation, do you want her to go wreak havoc somewhere else? Or do you show her mercy?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think I would have showed her mercy, because it's just another body on a death. What's the point, right?
Yeah.
Give her a chance to do better. But a lot of people don't think that way, though. I think, and that's what, stands out to the Mute Master, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there is a moment where Ansel waits, because Selena still has the sword in her hand. It's her father's heirloom. I mean, what's the point in not giving it back, right?
Right.
But Ansel does the smart thing and runs away. Don't just take the sword and try to beat her with it again, because, didn't work for you before. Of course,
better to live another day and get revenge somewhere else.
Right. Or in the hopes of doing better.
Right. Give up on your revenge.
Or at least try to, not kill as many people next time. So last chapter, Selena immediately runs over to Ilias to help patch his wounds. He does survive, thank God. Don't let the Hawkeye die. Sorry, Mikhail.
Yeah.
When I read, the Master was, dragging himself to his son, I was, thought that was so sad.
Yeah. He loves his son.
He does. Maybe that's the only thing left of his mother, before she died or something. That's why he's so precious,
Mm-hmm.
So we also get that the poison is a thing called Gloriella, which, I mean, that's definitely some, alchemy witch shit that I've heard before, but, again, I don't know what it does.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he knew the poison was in there and still let himself drink it was crazy.
Yeah.
Because she's he's the Mute Master. He's you should know a fucking poison. But he let it, because he wanted her to decide her own fate. And if that meant killing him, I guess so be it. And it's bro, what is this philosophical bullshit you're trying to steal? So she does go up to the top of the tower, fires the arrow at Ansel. And I do love how we kind of get a perception shift. We almost get, the perspective of the arrow. It's really, really small. But I don't know if when you read this, if you saw, the breaks in the... But it's we got the perspective of the arrow, whizzing through the air. And then it landed right after Ansel. Right at
her feet.
At the tail. Yeah.
At her heels.
What a badass moment, though. First of all, great aim.
Yeah. It wasn't that she missed. She purposely aimed at that.
Well, it was actually the fact that, she did aim correctly, but she waited 1 minute.
Yeah.
So it wasn't 20 minutes, it was 21 minutes.
Yeah.
So if she actually fired at 20, she probably would have hit her.
Yeah, Ansel would have been dead.
1 minute gifted.
Yeah.
That's,
1 minute can change everything.
Yes. Agreed. She didn't want to kill her. She really didn't. I love how she's heading north, though, through the jungle like she did before. So the next morning, the Master calls her to his chambers. I love how in my notes I went, he speaks! He speaks! It's well, sir, hello. Probably very hoarse, by the way. He hasn't talked in years, right?
Unless he, talked to himself. Just imagine in the privacy of his chambers, he's just muttering to himself.
Like a fucking crazy person,
Hippie Dad Jesus,
I'm talking to the father. It's alright, Dad. Ilias is just yeah, whatever. Of course the Master knew about Ansel, but the whole thing, it was I wanted her to decide her own fate. Because apparently he sent a letter to, where she was from, and then nothing ever got returned, so she thought he thought something happened, and then his informant came to him and said, dude, they're dead. And they have a miscarriage. Yeah. And he goes, I wanted her to come to me to talk to me about it instead of me confront her, because, like, what's the point?
Mm-hmm. As we know, people get defensive when confronted.
It was, this old man was just waiting for her to trust him. And, like, he did things for her to be like, hey, I'm trusting you, can you trust me back? Like, the whole Barrack thing was that.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I'm trusting you with this, why don't you trust me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then this quote, dude. That was like the quote that we had at the beginning about pain, enduring it, and...
Read it again regardless.
Okay. If you can learn to endure pain, you can survive anything. Some people learn to embrace it, to love it. Some endure it through drowning it in sorrow or by making themselves forget. Others turn to anger. And at the end of that, he says, but Ansel let her pain become hate and let it consume her until she became something else entirely. A person I don't think she ever wished to be. I said that earlier, but I was, like, thinking about that. And then he puts it so plainly, and I love it.
He puts it into good words.
Mm-hmm. Very much a master-worthy. I think the other quote that really hit me, though, is the fact that he says he won't tell anyone about her treachery because everyone was kind of friends with her, and that would, like, it would just make them, like, remember her in a bad way.
Mm-hmm. And it kind of gives her a chance of redemption.
It was the fact that he said, you've left a lasting impression on her. Like, she's seen the world as so cruel and hateful, but then even when she showed her true self, like, you didn't just kill her, like someone in that terrible world would.
Still gave her another chance.
Still gave her mercy. And he says, and maybe when she makes her next move to reclaim her title, she will remember the assassin from the north and the kindness you showed her and try to leave fewer bodies in her wake.
Hopefully.
Kind of similar to how she did to Irene, right? Like, just in a different way.
She's leaving her mark all over.
She is, right? Of course she gets the letter of approval. I mean, like...
Of course, at that point, even just the fact that she saved his son.
Right, and it is because of that, not because he saved him. He's like, yeah, because you saved my son. But you also saved her, too.
You saved your enemy.
Yes.
That's the big thing.
The fact that he's like, well, I never actually, like, vowed to be silent. I just chose to be.
It's like on the day of silence. I don't know if your high school ever did that, but, like, my school, like, it was a big thing of, like, today is, like, the day of silence. You can choose to be silent for the entire day or not, which was always difficult for me. Like, anyone who chose to do it would just carry around a whiteboard and we would write on that. But, like, it's like, well, I'm choosing to be silent today.
Wasn't, like, autism awareness? Is that what it was? Like,
maybe I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was, like, specifically, like, I don't know. Actually, I think it was, like, something about, like, grieving something. It was, like, paying respects to a loss or something. So it might have been just my school.
No,
but it was like one day a year.
There was a month where we had a girl in college go with like silent for like it was like autism awareness, like silent,
the nonverbal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she was autistic, and it was like showing solidarity. Yeah. So no, we didn't have like a silence day or anything, but the fact that he says sometimes words are necessary are really a big, especially with like young people. Hey, any parents out there, tell your kids you love them.
Please.
Well, no, it's just, like, words are powerful, especially when you're young and, like, you're surrounded by a bunch of bullshit. Like, hearing just something over and over again is helpful, even if, like, to you it might seem like you're kind of saying it over and over again. It is helpful to say.
I mean, it's like I noticed, was it yesterday? Or maybe it was the day before, like when we had like all those different calls, like we had so many different calls and then kept calling you back, that kind of thing. And, after each one, we always said like, I love you. Right.
Oh,
love you too. It's like, even if we have like the shortest call ever, we still say that. And, I mean, for me, it's like really been a happy thing just because it's like saying that and actually like meaning it at the end of each call. It's gotten me more used to even just saying it. It's like, oh, I'm allowed to love freely,
Yeah.
Versus like if you don't say that, if you don't hear it, it doesn't, you're not used to it. And so then that makes you not used to it in the future. You never know. You never know what the future could hold.
And just like words of affirmation. I mean, I think it's because I had so many people that were older than me that just kind of died off that like, it's going to sound morbid, but like that you kind of just have to say I love you because you never know like what's going to happen, or if like, I just don't want to also live in regret of not saying it.
Right.
But that's like a different thing than like saying like, okay, you can go silent for so long, but then like some things need to be talked about. Mm-hmm. Like you just can't go on like with it kind of being in silence. You have to mention it and have to be said.
Yeah.
So it means something instead of just kind of being like a silent thing, right?
And especially like with kids, like tell your kids like, or tell kids in general affirmation, or even just talk to them like normal people.
You're proud of them.
Right. Like just talk to them just in general, because kids, that's when they're like learning the most. Mm-hmm. Tell them, like talk to them, and they're gonna want to listen, they'll want to learn, versus if you don't talk to them, they'll learn that silence is how you should be. It's like that's their most valuable time.
Right.
Lesson of today, talk to your kids.
Wow, like we're giving parenting advice. I think it's more just coming from the fact of like having to go to therapy and realize, not having to, but you know what I'm saying, realizing like what I missed and like what I feel like kids should be told in terms of like
that's honestly been one of the hardest things about therapy as well. It's just like, wow, I missed out on a lot. Like I feel really sad for my inner child. Mm-hmm. Like she just missed out on so much growing up, and that happens when people grow up so fast.
Yeah.
Like
so again,
they're forced to grow up so fast.
Books have so many lessons, and I think this is like one of my favorite books in this novella, just because there's so much jam-packed into it. But anyway.
Yeah.
So not only does the master give her the approval letter, he says, you always have a place here if you ever want to leave, which is awesome. You'll always have a home here, right?
She should go get Sam, and they should just come back here.
Right? I'm like, bro, please. Goddamn, he gives her 3 trunks of gold.
Rich motherfucker.
Where the fuck? Right? Where was that? All right, Ilias, let's fuck, actually. I'm sorry.
Can I be part of the family now?
It's not the fact that he gives her gold. It's the fact that he gives her that to relieve her of her debt. That was huge.
Yeah.
Yo. He says, walk up to your master with your head held high and tell him we don't abuse our disciples in the Red Desert.
Snaps.
Yo. I mean, he knows Arabian's a monster, dear God.
Yeah.
I think everyone else does.
Yeah.
And of course, we end the book, novella, with, I heard the song of the northern wind calling her home, and she was not afraid.
Where the north wind meets the sea.
I hate you. I mean, that's true. That's very true. Wow. What a great book. I mean, nothing more else to say about that other than I love Sarah J. Maas. I think I guess like last quote for me about this book is just there was especially because I read these when I was 18, there was like a level of having this as something to compare to my current situation that I really needed at that time.
Yeah. And
especially looking back on it now, even though, like, yeah, it's some of, like, the cutie girly shit of, like, thinking about Sam or, the kiss or the, I don't say annoying, but more so as, like, oh, it's kind of childish. Like, to me, it's not necessarily childish. It's more just like, yeah, we were all 18 once.
Right.
Like, crushes and, like, friends and, obviously this is more an extreme situation, but I think SJM just has so many lessons to learn. And again, this was like just one chunk of her books. Imagine like all of them, And I just think Throne of Glass has so many like lessons to learn in it that it blows my mind.
Yeah. I was gonna say like, because you kept mentioning it was like a high school cafeteria whenever they were high school and friends. It's like crushes, friends, high school drama, killing your boyfriend after you sleep with them.
She went all, what is it, praying mantis on him. Dear God.
Definitely.
So it was really fun to read this section, write the notes. I'm so happy to, get back into this with you guys for July and everything. So I'll give our 2 things for our sponsor.
Fun fact time.
Yes. So for AKILA is innovative unisex sunglasses designed in LA, offering timeless style and uncompromising quality without the inflated price tag.
Yay, no inflation.
Right. Thanks, LA. The frames are also available with UV blocking sun lens, clear blue light blocking lenses, and prescription lenses, all made from 50% recycled material.
Nice.
So that's amazing. So please, again, we'll have that in the description. A 10% discount for Twin Flames Between Worlds podcast. That's TFBW podcast. So yeah, please, we're doing monthly book clubs now, and we're live streaming more. So we're at least doing it twice a month. We are trying to start to do more just kind of sporadic live streams. So please just be on the lookout for that. But the end of the month will always be our monthly book club, and our monthly book club, this one is Iron Flame for July.
Second book of the Empyrean series.
Yes, by Rebecca Yarros. Lisa's already halfway through, which I was fucking shocked.
For once, I'm early.
No, that was crazy. But yeah, so we'll have those, and then obviously our Discord is very poppin', so I'll have that in the description as well. And then please, yes, follow our Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for any updates with that in just announcements and fun videos. And then also, please like and share the podcast, review. It helps us a lot. It helps anyone with podcasts, so please rate and review the episode, and or comments are always great. We love to get comments back on our videos. And yes, we are still uploading to YouTube. We're starting with our archive episodes to post our faces, trying to catch us.
Your lovely faces.
But it's mostly going to be audio till we get caught up with all those. And yeah, so is there anything you want to say to the people before we go?
I love you so much. Thank you for your patience. Drink lots of water, eat some food, and get some sleep.
Yes. I'll take care of yourselves, and we'll see you back for the next episode of The Assassin's Blade.
Yay.
Alright. Bye, guys.
Bye.